What up, cappers, gamblers, punters, hustlers, low baggers? Happy Thursday, March 10th to all of you. Thank you for watching Betting with the Bag right here on Pub Sports Radio. Huge show ahead of us. Huge show. But I'd like to start quickly with, uh, you know, we spent so much time together capping the card. And now we're going to get a chance, a lot of us, to hang out with each other in San Antonio, which means so much to us because of all the time we spend with each other. And on Tuesday, at the end of the Tuesday show, one of our family, Mark Schlingberg, got some, terrible news. And, he just got the news, and he said it right here on our chat, the news that he got. And, it means so much to me that that's where he would come right away, was just tell us what happened. And I just want you to know, Mark, that we are there for you. Always, all of us. And I'm so sorry that your family has to go through this. And they're so lucky that they have your strong shoulders to carry them through this difficult times. And we love you. And we will be here for you always, to cap with you and to hang with you. And if you need a shoulder, or you need anything after carrying your family through these tough times. So I just want to start by just giving as much love. And if we can all just give as much love and strength out to Mark Schlingberg and his family, and just know that we're thinking about you. And, we got so much love for you. And because that's what friends are for, and that's what family's for, and that's what we are for you, and that's what we are for all of us. So I just want to open up, just giving Mark, letting him know how much we care about him, and just that we're thinking of him. We have a huge show ahead of us. It was a very, very strange NCAA basketball card yesterday, and I ended up not moving on anything. I need to succeed and get cash. And you guys know that NHL has been a struggle for me, and now I've got insomnia, and I know it's because my struggles in NHL, and so I focused on NBA. Went 6-2 in NBA last night, but just showing how fucking snake bit I am in NHL. My Oilers first period pushed. My Oilers -1 pushed, and Hyman had a breakaway with an empty net and was clearly hooked by Ovechkin, and no penalty was called. Now, I don't know. At that point, that's just a goal, right? That's just a goal. They give that a goal. They don't get a penalty shot or no shit, and you don't get a power play. But I'm not sure what call. It was sort of a gray area. I would have just called that a goal, but I'm just snake bit. So I push and push in NHL, but 6-2 in NBA, which is very good. And we have a giant show ahead of us. We have a 13-game NHL card, and then CMac and I have picked out 13 games that we want to attack in NCAA basketball. And then we have Dutch Boy Fresh joining us for 2 games in NBA, the only 2 games that we have on deck. And I'm thankful to be here with you guys, and I can't wait to cap this card with you guys. So I never gave Ron Crawford the proper shout out for he swept the board on Tuesday night. He did not cash the Sac State, Kansas State NCAA parlay yesterday, but he went 3-0 on Tuesday night, and I didn't give him the love that he deserved. So I wanted to give him a shout out right now as well. Shout out to all the cappers in the chat. Thank you guys so much for joining us. A ton of work to do. Josh Easley says, I'm stoked being here since 4 a.m. I love it. I absolutely love it. No, that's not the case at all. I wish Jose asked me, said someone looked like does this look like a face that slept? This is not what I would look like if I had slept. But let's stay focused here. Brent Norris says a huge NHL card today. Avs, Canes, potential Stanley Cup preview. I don't think the Canes make it, man. There's Jordy Nordman in the house. There is the nuke worker. Says no more sunshine for me. Oh no. I'll be in the shade with a cold pint. Access to 365 here. Love. Have to call my bro back home to bet. Whatever it takes to get your action in. Get your action in. There we go. Dan Kelly, I'm on the same look. This total's, I haven't bet it yet, but this total's ridiculous. Let's just see if it, I mean, I heard that at one book it opened up at 217.5. We know that it did open up at 222.5. I agree completely with you. This is just ludicrous. And I probably should have bet it, but man, was just on the grind, getting all of the records. Obviously, are a pain in the Pasalia, but getting all the games capped is also lip pain in my Pasalia. Let me just get this here in under NBA, but I completely agree with you. And I was like, could it get even higher? I'm reading your literature. Okay, we've got a ton of work to do, and I can't give everybody the shout-outs that they deserve. Sammy Comer, Dan Kelly, Viper MB, Ryan Kozlowski, Paulie Walnuts, JT, CT Bays, Brad Summersell, Ick Schnizzle says went 5-0, feels damn good. You're a beast. And also your call, because the Nuggets did feel like too good to be true, and of course I lost the full game by half point. But your call on only taking them first half was a thing of beauty. A thing of beauty. Nasty Nate, serious business. There is Diesel in the house. Diesel, I'm sorry. I still haven't got you locked down on Twitter, and that's my bad, man. Got to get that. I'm sorry. I apologize. I will figure that shit out. If you pop your Twitter handle in the chat, Jose will write it down for me. There's Black Thor King. Haven't had enough Black Thor King. Nutflush Allen. I hope you follow Nutflush Allen on Twitter, because another banger last night. Oilers team total over 3.5. Of course, Nutflush Allen just rolling so hot. He catches easily. I push and push. I want to lose it. Big show picks in the house. Okay, Slatsy 3-2-1 in NHL last night. Packed today. Yes, it's a huge card. I've only made 3 bets on the card because I want to talk everything out with you. And I want to give love to all you guys, but I can't. We got to get to work right now. So thank you all so much for joining us. Oh, another thing about college basketball. Another thing about college basketball is this. It's that there are games that are starting at 11, 11:30, and 12, and we're letting those go. Now, you guys in the chat can give out your action for them, but we are letting those go. We start at 12:30 with TCU, Texas. That's the first game we are attacking. So we are going to miss sort of the first 4 or 5 games, but look, it's a ludicrous amount of action here that we are trying to break down for you. So I apologize for that, but I want you guys to know that's the situation. That is the heads up. So we start with 13 games, and CMac will be joining us in 55 minutes. In 55 minutes. So my guy, Mr. Gogster, pride of Belleville, Ontario, going to be working quick here. He's going to have to be working fast. You look focused. Mr. Gogster. How are you, my man?
I've been better, but that 0-4 night. Got to be transparent as fuck, guys. Even win or lose. 0-4, 0-0, 7 minutes there. What are you going to do? A couple goals in the first, and then Montembeau expected him. And we're going to get back after it, though, guys. You just keep grinding. As you can see, I haven't had as much sleep. Well, maybe not as much as Jimmy, but anyways, guys, it's good to see everyone here. Who do we got in the chat here? Sammy, Nasty, everyone poker addicted. Their Price City, Cashman, One Time Sports. Everyone's here to get some cash. Let's do it.
Let's get that cash. And when you got through that first 10 minutes, I legitimately thought that you had the first 10 minutes under. So I was like, okay, Gogster makes it through the 10 minutes, because I was sweating it out with you. I was like, okay, Gogster's in business.
I don't know why I didn't bet it.
That was rough. But let's get right after it right now and get paid in full. So here we go. The National Hockey League begins. We're going to work very, very quickly. I'm going to pull up I'm not going to pull up the odd changing for this first game. I'm just going to get us going, and then I'll have Action Network up, and we'll possibly look at SBR, even though that site's been failing miserably. Okay, let's go. Chicago Blackhawks, 21-29-8. 10-14-4 on the road at the Boston Bruins, 34-18-5, 16-10-2. And look, I don't believe in what we saw in that game against Anaheim from the Blackhawks. I don't believe it. But the Bruins at minus 275, I can't touch them there, even though we're starting to see real depth in that lineup. Wahala playing very well. Craig Smith on a little streak of his own. Yeah, and that's going to help this team immensely. They're also very angry off that loss to the Kings. But I would have to take the Bruins minus 1.5 at minus 110. Lucky Power says take Blackhawks puck line. I certainly am not going to touch the Blackhawks personally, Lucky Power, after the Blackhawks lit up the Ducks, and this is an extremely angry Bruins squad that's getting depth scoring and is an angry group, and Swayman is on fire. And Marc-Andre Fleury, there's a reason why he hasn't been picked up yet. And it's because he's got a 2.92 goals against average and 908 save percentage. And it doesn't help him, the defense playing in front of him. But he's not being great. Swayman has been great. 15, 7, and 3, 2.03 goals against average, 927 save percentage, 3 shutouts. Better than I could have possibly imagined. He's 7-0-1 across his last 8 starts. In those 8 starts, 953 save percentage. He's just rocking. Boston power play, 24.4%. Penalty killing, 81.2%. Chicago power play, 20.0%. Penalty killing, 76.2%. This is going to be a tough out in the playoffs. A very, very tough out.
Yeah.
And it's going to be what? Bruins, Carolina in the first round?
That's my Stanley Cup winner right there. No, if you got Swayman playing like he is, Jim, like, fuck. Allmark's not taking him to the promised land.
If the Panthers play the Bruins in the first round, the way the Bruins are playing right now, I'd be extremely nervous.
They're starting to get a lot better, yeah. And Marchand's looking like kind of the old Marchand. He's starting to be a little more of a pest out there, which I think is bad news for other teams, Jim.
Yeah. So let me just hand this over to. Let me just hit a quick table a little bit more. So the Blackhawks stopped that 2-game losing streak with the 8-3 win over the Ducks that I don't believe in. They're 4-5-1 over their past 10 games. That's who they really are. Kane got a 6-point game. He's a monster. We know that. And Strome is playing very well, second hat trick with an assist. And we know what DeBrincat can do. Sure, they're a great group of forwards. And Gibson's been a mess, and we're going to talk about him shortly. But the Bruins are an angry group. That was a heartbreaking 3-2 loss at home to the Kings on Monday night. They're 7-1-1 over their past 9 games. That's who they really are. Craig Smith has 5 goals over their past 3 games. Howla had a 6-game point streak snapped against the Kings. Pasternak an 8-game point streak. And Grizzle will be back in the lineup. Swayman is confirmed, said Billy Friedrich. And Real Deal Prime said Fleury goes on a run. It will up his trade interest. Definitely. It'll up his trade interest. He has not done that. Take it away here. Gogster, is there an angle that you want to attack?
This game here, well, Swayman. I'm going to jump on Swayman's. You're back on Swayman. He's 7-1-1, guys. Since all my stats February 1st and on. I think that's I don't give a shit what teams are doing back in October, November. Looking at what they've done pretty much after the All-Star break. Swayman 7-1-1 with a .946 save percentage, 1.53 goals against. The only goalie that's better than him is Igor Shesterkin, which everybody knows about. So. Boston right now and Chicago coming off that big win, as Jimmy said, against an Anaheim team where Gibson, just looking at Gibson, I got his numbers here because Anaheim's going today. He's 2-6 since the break there, Jimmy, with a .829 save percentage. This guy's just been a hot fucking Swiss cheese piece of shack, for lack of better words there. But yeah, Fleury going. I can't trust Fleury long term. This team's 5-7-1. Boston's 9-4-2. They're getting a lot better. They're looking a lot better out there. They've only allowed 20 goals, 5-on-5 since February 1st, Jimmy. 20 goals, 5-on-5. They're just a really tough 5-on-5 team. I expect Boston to lock down. This is one of the lower totals, too, on the board, 5.5. I kind of lean to the over, but I'm not going to play. I don't know what I'm going to get from Chicago. I believe Boston here, guys, after playing a tougher team, too, in the LA Kings. More a playoff team in the LA Kings too, Jimmy. I think Boston's gonna win this one. I'm not gonna take the puck line with you, buddy. I'm gonna put this in a money line. I got it in a money line parlay in a game coming up here at 7. So they're gonna be the first piece, guys. Boston money line. I expect them to take care of business here. I'm gonna add it with another one.
Okay, and so you're. Oh no, there you go. Your overnight action. I just found your overnight action. Okay, so there you go. You know what? I think that this could be a smash spot for the Bruins. I had no plan on taking the Bruins puck line, none, but I'm starting to.
I wouldn't not take them right now. This is the time, guys, when I start riding hot goalies into the playoffs, and Swayman checks that box. They're a healthy team, getting Grizzly back too. He's probable. So I would definitely I love Boston here. I just always I swear to God, guys, my puck line record's like fucking 40%. So I just stay off puck lines, but money line piece here. I like Boston.
Okay, so we have 12 more games and about 45 minutes to do them in. So, Jose, keep us on track if you think we're going to fall off. And obviously, we need to be quicker than we just were. So, next up, 7 p.m. Eastern, Vegas Golden Knights, 32-22-4, 16-9-1 on the road at Buffalo Sabres, 18-32-8, 9-16-4. Very curious to hear how the chat and you are going to cap this game. Mr. Gogster, Knights open up at minus 227. They're minus 220 right now. And let me move to all markets here. And from the total side of things, it opened at 6, and it opened at 6, and there is a 6.5 now up at FanDuel, one at Bet Rivers, one at Sugar House. Robin Lehner has not been very good. 21-15-1, 2.77 goals against average, 909 save percentage. And also, please let me know if I have the goalies wrong. This is again capping from last night. Craig Anderson, 8-8-0, 3.14 goals against average, 901 save percentage. Vegas power play, 18.1%. Penalty killing, 79.6%. That's not going to cut it come playoff time. If they make the playoffs, which I think they should still. Buffalo, 19.8% power play, 75.7% penalty killing. Vegas comes in off this modest 2-game winning streak being snapped in a 2-1 loss at Philly on Tuesday. But this is all about Eichel, number 2 pick in the 2015 draft, coming home. How
don't you take him to get a point even though? Even to get a goal. I saw one of the guys in the chat just throw up to him to score a goal plus 153.
Yeah, I stay away from the prop market, but I understand that. The Knights need to win badly. They're barely holding on to this third playoff spot in our Pacific Division. They're averaging 2.09 goals per game over their past 11. They're 4-6-1 over that time. They've been shut out twice. They've scored 1 goal twice, 2 goals in 3 different games over that run. And they opened up a 2-1 loss in Philly. Now, they outshot the Flyers 48-21. They outshot them 34-13 over the final 2 periods. It's the best Carter Hart has looked maybe in his career. The Sabres coming off an ugly 6-1 loss at home to the Panthers on Monday. They've been outscored 9-1 over their last 2 games. This is a hugely important game for the Sabres and the Sabres fans. But the Knights are going to want to win this game for Jack. They're going to talk about it. We got to get this for Jack. We got to get this for Jack.
Yeah.
So are the Sabres players, which are such a young group, going to hold this kind of any animosity towards Jack? I don't think they are. I think it's the Golden Knight players want to win it for Jack, and the Buffalo Sabre fans want the Sabres to win. And maybe I'm doing this wrong, but this is a very young group that they don't all have connections to Eichel, really. Take it away here, Gogster. Tell me what you think of this spot, Knights, Sabres.
I think in a way too, Buffalo wants to prove that they are, they can last without Eichel because they've been everyone for the last 5 years. The only thing you talk about with Buffalo was Eichel. So this team in Buffalo, I think they're going to want to show that, even without Eichel, if they do win, they could prove, hey, we're still a half decent team without you, or we're still going to be all right. This is a game where I was right away. I think there's going to be some goals here, guys. With Lehner not playing as well. The only thing is you get so many question marks with the injuries here. Jimmy was saying how Vegas isn't scoring without Stone, Janmark, and then you have Nick Howden and then McNabb. Those are some top players on the back end and the front end for this Vegas team. So they've got some injuries that are a bit of cause for concern. And then you got Lehner, who's 3-3 since February 1st with a .91 save percentage and a 2.7 goals against. So he's been okay, but he hasn't gotten the goal output that they usually do. You got to think, though, guys, when Eichel was signed, that they definitely circled this game. 2-1, they lost. It looked really good in that game. I expect Vegas to win this one, guys. They're going to be actually in the parlay piece. I'm with Jimmy. I think with Eichel returning, even Lehner. Lehner is a much better goal, in my opinion, than Anderson. Anderson, in my opinion, should be going. He's 3-6 too since the break. .881 save percentage with a 3.81 goals against. So he has not been good. If anything, you could see Vegas maybe have a little more of a outbreak with goals. So this is the parlay piece, guys. I got Boston. I like that how we have the parlay piece back to back here. Boston, Vegas, Jimmy plus 100. I think both these teams get it done, and we take away that juice, get it to a nice plus 100 number.
Yeah, I get the look.
There's a lot of question marks.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know how much this means to the players in the Sabres dressing room, but I know it means, and I'm not saying it doesn't. Don't get me wrong, but I'm not certain. I don't know. I don't think they hold animosity towards them. I think they're more upset at management not letting him get the disc surgery. So, but I think that Vegas wants to win for their
And
guy.
if Vegas wins too, Jimmy, they got to have it a low scoring game. They can't get in a shootout. They need Lehner to play well. If Lehner doesn't play well, they're going to be in trouble because Buffalo would want to play a fast paced game, in my opinion. So Vegas wins. It's got to be a lower scoring, tight, hard checking game. Don't give Buffalo much space on the ice because they're a young, quick team.
There's our guy Mark Schillingberg taking a moment to stop by the chat. Man, just
the best,
talked about you off the top of the show, and we're here for you, and we love you, and we're always going to be here for you. Anytime you want to cap sports and get away from everything that's going on, but your family's so lucky that they have your strength to rely upon over this very difficult stretch. And just know that we are all thinking about you, Mark, and anytime you need anything, man, you holler at us. I'll leave that up for a little bit just to show what kind of guy he is. What a great guy. Rodney Barton says Buffalo's 0-6 last 6 versus the Pacific lean under as well. And Ryan Kozlowski says you could write the narrative either way. You're all right. You are absolutely right.
Exactly.
Absolutely right. Okay, so we have Gogster's parlay in. Let's keep rolling. 7 p.m. Eastern. Arizona Coyotes 17-35, 8-15-3 on the road at Toronto Maple Leafs 37-16 and 27-1 at home. And Big Red said, since the break, there's been 195 games played. 114 have reached the 7-goal total. 81 have been under the 7-goal total. 12 of those games were 6 goals scored. 7 pushed, 2 lost, 3 beat the open line. It's amazing, Big Red. Look, there's a ton of goals being scored, and I still believe when it gets closer to playoff time, and when it is in playoff time, that will stop.
Yeah. It's like a stock market, I think, Jimmy. Like right now, it's crazy. The books are definitely adjusted. Looking at the lines today with the totals, because I've been doing a lot of totals for years, even though I look like I'm like 21. 6.5 on almost all of them are like 6.5. I wanted to take some overs at hopefully 6. They're all 6.5 or choose to high 6s. So they've definitely noticed that stat. That's a big stat from Big Red there because the books are definitely taking that into consideration now.
Scott Wedgwood going up against Mrazek. Mrazek has been confirmed. I just can't imagine. I guessed on Tuesday at the poker game that I guess Campbell's lost 35 mil with this bad stretch. Arizona's playing their best hockey. They're playing their very best hockey, and I faded them. Against Clint, star of the Die Hard MMA podcast, and my payment was an original song, and here you go, Clint, you son of a bitch. Clint, congratulations on your successful bet against me. Here, as promised, is my payment. One original song. Let me just do a quick vocal warm-up. Ooh, ah, ee. The Arizona Coyotes spit semen. The Coyotes spit sperm. They gurgle semen. Okay, I think I'm ready to sing for you. Your Coyotes are shit. No professional arena lets them play in it. Phil Kessel has tits. The hot dog eater has tits. If your leading scorer is Clayton Keller, at the deadline, you'll be a seller. How many cocks would Nick Schmaltz taste if Nick Schmaltz could taste cocks? Phil Kessel has tits. The donut eater has tits. In the dictionary under hockey player that sucks is a picture of Alex Galchenyuk. Please move the franchise somewhere where people care. Phil Kessel has tits. That ice cream lover has tits. And as an added bonus, here is my impression of Phil Kessel eating ice cream. No, please, no. Can I know? Congratulations on your successful bet. Consider this payment. Consider it payment.
Foodcastle's got tits. That's sketchy, Jim. That's sketchy.
Thank you. All teams step up when they play near Canada Center. They all do. The players care about playing there. It's like they used to care when they went to Montreal. And I'm not saying that they don't care at the Bell Center, but it was a little different at the Forum. That meant the world to players. And look, we're not talking about the Maple Leaf Gardens up on Carlton, but we're talking about playing in Toronto where people really care. And we've seen that. We saw the Kraken play very well against the Leafs. We see teams step up against the Leafs, and the Leafs have very shady goaltending right now. Coyotes coming off their third straight win, 9-2 at Detroit on Tuesday. Schmaltz, 11 points in his past 2 games. I mean, he's just rolling right now. Now has 37 points in 37 games. Leafs coming off their second straight win, 6-4 at home over the Kraken on Tuesday night. Austin Matthews is unbelievable. He's growing into this body. He's a big boy now. I watched him put his shoulder into somebody for the first time and knock him off the puck like it was nothing. What's going to happen now? And he's so cocky, and you want that edge.
Confident, too. Yeah, cocky and confident.
43 goals. Also, he has 2 empty net goals, 2. You know how many Ovechkin has this year? 8. 8 empty net goals. Ovechkin is a little bit behind Gretzky in all-time empty net goals. Ovechkin has 47 empty net goals in his career. He's going to lead whatever.
It's not a stat you want.
11 goals for the Leafs in the past 2 games. Coyotes have scored 19 goals in their past 3 games. Is it going to stop? Is this going to keep happening? These teams just lighting the lamp? That's the most important question in this game. Let's just see the market right now and then hand it over to you. This opens up at 6.5, juiced heavy to the over. And it hasn't moved any heavier. It's still minus 125 or minus 130. The Leafs open up at minus 409. I mean, that's ridiculous against this Coyote team. They're now at minus 375. And we know that Matthews cares playing Phoenix. So that's his, hometown. Yeah. And this is the best goaltender in the National Hockey League right now, without a doubt. Austin Matthews. Take it away here. Gogster, Coyotes, Leafs.
Coyotes, Leafs. So not veg milk, eh? We confirm Wedgwood there, or Wedgewall. It's between the 2 goalies there, Campbell, Mrazek. You got Swiss cheese here. That's where the total 6.5 juice to like minus 120. Pretty crazy number. Jesus Christ. You got goals everywhere. 37 5-on-5 goals, Jimmy, from Arizona since the 1st of February. The chat was on fire. They were loving you. 48 from Toronto. 5-on-5 since February 1st. Both teams are just humming right now. And the goaltending, I don't know what you're going to get. Wedgwood, he's an AHL guy for the most part. He's looking good right now, but he's going up against a Toronto team where they're pretty much healthy, other than Sandin's questionable if he's not going. I don't like that for Toronto. This line shouldn't be as high as it is for Toronto, especially if Mrazek's going. I know I've been bitten in the ass from saying Mrazek's shit. He's been actually pretty decent at home, but again, long term, he's not a goalie I usually like to buy a lot of stock into. This game, I'd definitely be leaning towards the overs, guys. I don't have any action. We move on to the next game, Jimmy. I lean towards overs here, and even Arizona, maybe a plus 1.5 kind of thing.
6.5. The total's not moving. I mean, they've scored so many goals in the last 3 games. Can it possibly keep going? And
Labuchkin, what's the guy's Labuchkin? I might be butchering his name there. The guy Toronto just picked up, used to play for Arizona a couple of weeks ago.
Yeah.
Yeah, he'll be playing against his former team too. You got Matthews too. You got some spots here where a couple players will be playing their former teams or hometown teams. So I got to be thinking there's some goals here. And the fans are back. I think he had 6-4 against Vancouver last time out, and that was with Demko. So you got even a shittier goalie going, in my opinion, with Wedgwood. So I got to look towards the over.
Yeah, you got to look towards over. And I made a point a little while ago to not take any totals that are minus 125. But look, I get it. I'm not going to take the over. I don't like doing that after 3 straight games of these high scoring goals. But I don't have the balls to take an under here.
No.
So
one thing too, Jimmy, that I like to say is if you want to kill some juice, I know what we can do in the past is take both teams to score, say first period, or both teams to score in the second period, guys. And then you can get that to like plus 100, even minus 110 maybe, because the line's so high. But yeah, maybe like both teams to score in the first kind of thing. You could save the juice, or even second. Check out the goals and the periods, guys, on NHL Stats. Breaks down all the periods per goals, and that's something I always like to use.
Well, let's speed up, Gogster. We got to move quickly now. 7 p.m. Eastern. Next up, Seattle Kraken 17-37-5, 7-20-2 on the road to Ottawa Senators 20-31-5, 10-16-2 home. Canadian Tire Center in Ottawa, Ontario, and it's not even in Ottawa, Ontario. It's in Kanata, Ontario, out in the fucking boonies.
It's known as the Corral Center to me, Jim.
Yeah, it's look. I've often thought that, like the Vegas hangover of old, that there was a hangover when you leave Toronto and go to sleepy Kanata to play the lowly Senators, where people don't care. They hate Melnick, and they don't no, I'm not saying they don't support the team. It's just that they've been dealing with a losing team for a long time, and they hate the owner, and all of that gets frustrating. So, look,
a lot of booze and drinking goes on in Canada.
There's nothing wrong with that. Philip Grubauer, 12, 25, and 5, 3.22 goals against average, 887 save percentage. He's not been good. Anton Forsberg's been very good. 12, 10, and 2, 2.69 goals against average, 921 save percentage. I moved on the Senators -1 with confidence. Seattle played a great hockey game against the Leafs, and now they go over to Ottawa. They've lost 3 straight. I like the McCann deal. I'm fine with it. 5 years, 25. I think that's fair. The Sens snapped their 5-game losing streak with an impressive 4-1 win at St. Louis on Tuesday, and they need to carry that on. When I first saw, so I made this bet when I could, -1 on the -1 line. I got -135, and I believe -1 or +180 on the puck line. And then the first thing it did was it moved 5 cents towards Seattle. I legitimately thought that was a mistake. I thought that's cappers who were watching the Leafs game and saw how good they played against a team like the Leafs that's just devoid of any defense. And sure enough, it's moved back to Ottawa, which makes me feel good. It's now -145. That makes me feel good. I believe I'm on the right side here with the Ottawa Senators. This total also opened up at 6. It's down to 5.5. I just cashed on the Senators under 5.5. I believe it's under 6, in that 4-1 win over the Blues, where the Blues pulled their goalie with like 3.5 minutes left. And I thought maybe I was going to get screwed again. Take it away here, Gogster, Kraken, Senators. You're muted, my man.
Oh, sorry about that, guys. Rare mute from Gogster there. Forsberg's been going. He's looked really good. 5-3-1, .936 save percentage, 2.29 goals against. He's playing probably the best I've seen Forsberg playing since he's been an Ottawa Senator. So that's a really good sign. No Batherson, Murray, whatever, and then Tierney. So they're getting a lot healthier too, Ottawa. Norris is going to have his first game back at home. I think he's going to probably score a goal. If you want to take a goal prop there, guys, I know you guys like your goal props. Norris to score a goal, I like that. I think we're going to see some overs too, despite Forsberg playing really well. I'm not going to jump off the way Seattle's looked. They've been looking a lot better. They haven't won a game too, Jim, I'm pretty sure, in like fucking ages. This team they can't win a hockey game. So even though they can't win a hockey game, they've looked good. Little quick stats here. I know we're trying to go quick. Yeah, the power play has been pretty bad, 8%, 66% penalty kill too, 78 for Ottawa. I expect there to be some goals. I do like your Ottawa play. I expect them to win. There's not many more cases I could put towards Seattle. So I lean towards Ottawa in the over here.
Yeah, I get I'm just Ottawa only, and Ron Crawford's spreadsheet play of the day is also on Ottawa. Absolutely love seeing us unite here, Ron. Love seeing us unite. And now Flush Allen says, be honest, Jimmy, did Skyler send you my notes? Was focused on Seattle leaving Toronto. I love that angle. And it's an angle that we should use often until Ottawa becomes a dangerous team like in the old Alfie days. All right, 7 p.m. Eastern, Minnesota Wild, 33-19-3, 16-13-2 at Detroit Red Wings, 24-27-6, 16-12-3 at home. Little Caesars Arena in Detroit, Michigan. I have Cam Talbot, who's been bad all year. I don't know why they wouldn't go with Kokkonen, but he hasn't been very good either. Against Alex Nedeljkovic, whom Rod Brindamore said he was. Minnesota power play at 19.8%, penalty killing bad at 76.2%. I'm shocked that the Dean Evison coach squad, with all these depth pieces and all these great pieces, can't put a penalty kill together. Billy Guerin's going to have to slap some face, because that's unacceptable. And you're not going to succeed in the playoffs with a 76.2% penalty killing. Detroit, 17.3% power play, 74% penalty kill. Keith, this is just a huge card, and I'm just thankful to cap with you guys. And This is like an oasis for me, just to hang with you guys for a few hours and cap the card. So I'm on Minnesota Wild -1, and it's not because I don't think Detroit lacks heart. It's that when you can't trust your goaltending, it's very difficult to play in front of them, and your shoulders sink, and you don't like coming to the rink. Blashill pulled Nedeljkovic after the Coyotes' 4th goal. Thomas Greiss came in and allowed 2 goals on 3 shots, and then Nedeljkovic came back in.
And
What do you do?
3 more in, right, or something like it.
What do you do? 15 goals they've allowed over the past
Call
2 games.
Call up the card from the Grand Rapids.
I agree. I think that's got to be the next option. That's got to be the next option. Got to be. And look, this Wild team is snapped their 2-game losing streak. They haven't been playing well. They need to win right now. They need to win tonight. And I like the line I got. I got -1 at -119, and I felt like that was a fair opportunity for me. -1. So I got -180 and +135. And right now, it's better. You get a better line, -180 +140. Now, look, I don't like fading teams after they get destroyed like this, but I did do that. Slats is also on the Wild team total over 3.5. Slats is on Wild first period -0.5 +133 and over 2 +115. So it's got to be goals here. Take it away, Gogster, and let's move quickly. Wild Red Wings.
Yeah, I want to take the over. I was hoping to get a 6 here. I expect there to be a bounce back. Both goalies are not looking good, but Minnesota is completely healthy, so you got to expect Minnesota to probably more likely than not get this done. Bertuzzi's questionable here. Other than that, they're completely healthy too, Detroit. So I wanted to take the over 6. It's 6.5 high juice too. Maybe both teams to score first period look here, guys. But I'd lean towards Jimmy's look here with Minnesota here and a -1 kind of thing.
Yeah, and that's what I did. So I've only made 3 bets on this card. So we've gone over 2 of them. Let's move on to Philadelphia Flyers, 18, 28, and 10, 7, 13, and 5 at Florida Panthers, 39, 13, and 5, 25, 6, and 0 at home. We're at Florida Live Arena in Sunrise. Carter Hart, that's the best he's looked. He looked great, and I'm happy for him. After watching him struggle so badly last year, you cheer for young players to succeed, especially that crease can be a lonely place. Bobrovsky, 29, 6, and 3, 2.55 goals against average, 916 save percentage, 2 shutouts. Philly, 13.5% power play, 76.7% penalty killing. When Carter Hart plays like this, I don't really want to fade the Flyers, and I would never do that -380, which is what is available for me right now.
Mm-hmm.
And Prince of the City says, who I'm not betting. Yes, I know Prince, Philadelphia team. But I see why this over hasn't gone up. I see a couple things here. First, Flyers coming off their 2nd straight win. Hart playing well. Look, not having Couturier and Ryan Ellis all year, that just devastates the squad. The Panthers coming off their 4th straight win, 4-3 at the Penguins on Tuesday night, and they've been so good this year, but they need to turn it around at home. They lost 3 straight at home, and it was shocking to everybody. Ekblad is going to be nominated for a Norris and may continue to get nominated for the rest of his career. He's been very good this year. Barkov has been so good. Verhaeghe, career high 44 points. Duclair, career high in goals. You got Huberdeau leading the NHL with 60 assists. Now they have Lomberg and Anton Lundell are hurt right now, and Lundell 5th among NHL rookies. But I don't want, and Diesel says sneaky under here.
Yeah, could be.
I certainly wouldn't take the over. And by the way, Guillermo saying can't wait to hang out with Goji in San Antonio, raw dog Gogster. Look, I think there's a reason why this total is not moving off that -125. I just don't think I have the balls to bet the under here.
I don't think I had anything on this game. What do I have here? He's looking a lot better too. Hart, Jimmy was saying there's 7% power play though since February 1st and on. That's not going to get it done. 29% from Florida. Their top players are just this team's. Florida's just so damn good. I expect them to actually get this one done despite the way Carter Hart looked. Kind of sneaky under. Yeah, I don't mind the under here. I don't have much on this game, guys, to be honest. Philly could be a team to maybe actually to be betting on as the season goes on. I think they're going to start because they had injury problems. I think they're going to get a little more healthy. And if Carter Hart can play better, I might be taking Philly maybe in the later months here. But right now, I want nothing to do with it. Maybe I'd take Florida here.
Yeah, I'm just going to stay off of it. And Big Show saying I could see a 2-1 Florida game. That's the only chance the Flyers have. The only chance. Oh, yeah. Thank you, Diesel. Copied and pasted.
Hey, and you Diesel. I'll add you up too, brother.
Copied and pasted that here. Thank you for Sharing that. Okay, so we have 25 minutes before college basketball, and we are starting on the 12:30 game, TCU, Texas, and CMac and I got together last night and picked what games, 13 games that we want to talk about here. So next up, we have Winnipeg Jets, 25, 22, and 10, 10, 11, and 8 on the road at New Jersey Devils, 21, 31, and 5, 13, 13, and 3 at home. I can't wait to talk about this hockey game.
That's a good game.
So the Devils are now minus 125. Very curious. That's at Bet365. Very curious to see what they opened at. And where is it here? It is. They opened at, wow,
Really?
plus 103. Wow. Wow, they have the Jets opening up at minus 131. I guess I missed the boat here. I would have loved to have
that line. Why is that line minus 120 for the Devils, Jim? What's your reasoning there?
Simple. The Jets just beat the defending Stanley Cup champion Tampa Bay Lightning on Tuesday, and they haven't been that good overall, and they're very dangerous at home. And now they head out on the road to the sleepy Prudential Center that won't be full, and the Devils are I had to stop myself. The Devils are playing very good hockey right now.
Yeah.
Jack Hughes' 12-game home point streak has 20 points in those 12 games. I mean, he's rolling. They're now both teams are coming off impressive wins. 5-3 comeback victory over the Avalanche. Now the Avalanche have lost 3 of 4 here. Johnny Case's Devils just beat Colorado. They both just beat very impressive teams. Sammy Comer says the goal's going to be goals galore here. And look, I agree with that, but I don't want to pay the juice associated with this. And it's moved to 7. Okay, it's moved to 7. It was minus 135. I guess I stay off of this spot. Take it away, Gogster.
Man, I got to take the Jets here at this plus number. I might even go the opposite way. Nico Daws expected.
Oh, by the way, huge news that just came in. Robin Lehner was sent home for test due to lower body injury. Riley Smith is out too, which means Brossoit is going to be in between the pipes.
Jesus Christ, I can't fucking just these overnights, man. They're biting me in the ass with these announcements. That's not a great sign. That's not a great sign. Brossoit has been okay, but maybe try to be careful with that game. Going back here though, guys, Winnipeg, they're going to be back to back. They're playing the Islanders tomorrow. So that's one thing to keep in mind here. Who's going to go? Is it going to be Blackwood or Comrie? That could be another reason now that I'm just thinking about it. Maybe is Comrie announced because they got a back-to-back against the Islanders tomorrow, Winnipeg, so they could be saving Hellebuck for that game. If Comrie goes, I would be all over the overs here, 6.5. Nico Daws, I saw him here when he was with Utica Comets, Jim. Small goalie. You want to talk about toddler shoulders. Nico Daws has toddler shoulders. He's a small goalie. He's very quick, though, between the pipes. Surprised he didn't get the call up. They went to Anika Schmid. Now he's back with Utica, so Dawes is the guy, but going up a team in Winnipeg, Jimmy, they just got too much offense. They got a deadly offense. They're pretty much not completely healthy, but they got their top players in. I'd be leaning towards Winnipeg here. I don't love it, depending on the goalie. If it's Hellebuck, I'd be on Winnipeg. If it's Comrie, I'd be all over the overs.
I'd love to watch this game. I'd love to be there and watch this game. Unc Oliver in the house. Man, we love dearly. Who's capped with us for years and always support us. Hanging with Uncle Roland. Drinks and smokes all day and capping. I respect.
Sign me up.
Wish I was sitting right there with you guys capping the card, drinking and smoking all day. Respect. Okay, that's the Jets, Devils. Looks like it's going to be no play for me at this point. Let's talk about Avalanche, Carolina Hurricanes. Some have called it a preview of the Stanley Cup Finals. Again, we have 20 minutes before Conor Mac joins us for NCAA basketball, and we start at 12:30 games. So we are going to miss the noon games. And I know there's some big ones popping off right now. We start with TCU, Texas. Colorado Avalanche, 41-12-5, 18-9-2 at the Hurricanes, 39-12-5, 21-4-2 at PNC Arena in Raleigh, North Carolina. We have let me just pull up the market moves here. The Avalanche opened up at minus 115. Now you can get them anywhere between minus 110 and minus 120. This total opened up at 6. It has moved to 6.5. And Kemper Anderson is who I was expecting to be in that. Kemper 27-7-2, 917 save percentage, 2.57 goals against average. Freddie Anderson 29-8-2, 2.08 goals against average, 928 save percentage. Deacon Mike, what is happening? Oh, Ranta confirmed. Thank you. I was trying to.
I was just reading that Anderson's not 100%.
Okay, so Ranta confirmed. Maybe that Maybe that
Guys,
pushes
this
us.
is a Colorado spot. Coming off that loss too, Jimmy. They came off a loss to their last game, I believe. They're a team that doesn't lose back to back. They're pretty much healthy. No D'Angelo or Smith too, and now no Anderson. I love Carolina, but I would be leaning towards. And Kemper's look good, guys. 6-2-1 since the break. Jim, .924 save percentage, 2.55 goals against. Kemper's finally starting to play better hockey. So this line, you know what, Jimmy? I'm going to add this one. Give me Colorado here, money line. I think Colorado's going to get this one done. I like Colorado, guys.
I imagine that this is a good spot for them. But they've lost 3 of 4, and Bednar saying we look tired. We're a tired group, just tired. And he was hitting it way harder than I expected to. I'm not entirely sure what he was trying to gain out of it. Can we get a look for a spreadsheet stat play road favorite over minus 175? Can we get a line for Mr. Gogster?
I got minus 110. It just went to minus 113 at Pinnacle. So the money's coming in right now. I got to bet that right now, actually.
Okay, get your action in. Hurricanes have an 11-game point streak at home. They're 21-4-2 at home, 815 home points percentage. That's second to the Avalanche. And nothing has really inspired me towards trusting the Avalanche on this road trip. And I didn't want them in New Jersey. I was impressed that New Jersey came back. And if, Bednar keeps talking about what a tired group they are. And now they play. Now, you know what? Rod Brindamore wants this test more than anything. So, again, this feels like I'm just going to watch at this point.
Under more I think about it too, Jimmy. Under more I think about it. Carolina's not going to get in a goal fest with this team. And you got Kemper playing well. No D'Angelo. You got less offense from Carolina too. So I'd be leaning towards an under. But I've already played Colorado. I expect them to get it done.
I have interest in the under, but I have just not been succeeding with them in Avalanche games at 6.5.
Unders in general.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Much love, New Yorker, my guy. Okay, let's move on to a fascinating game. Enjoy Florida, my man. You have earned all this, New Yorker. New York Rangers 36-16-5, 17-11-2 on the road at St. Louis Blues 32-17-7, 19-7-2 at home. We're at Enterprise Center in St. Louis, Missouri. Shesterkin, and I'm expecting Binnington. Shesterkin being very good, 28-6-3, 1.93 goals against average, 942 save percentage, 3 shutouts. Will win the Vezina, and there's talk about being nominated for the most valuable player. Rangers power. Look at the special teams on these two squads. Rangers 25.5% power play, 82.8% penalty killing. St. Louis 25.8% power play, 83.6% penalty killing. Rangers had their 3-game winning streak snapped, a 5-2 loss in Minnesota. We know we can blame Georgiev on that, and they're just a different team with Shesty between the pipes. And we have. Let's get over to this spot here. Sorry, so many games. Here we go. The Rangers opened up at plus 115. They're now plus 110 or plus 100. So money moving on to them. And this total sitting at 5.5. And we have a very angry St. Louis squad. So I think the Rangers are a better hockey team than St. Louis, but St. Louis is an angry group. Rangers had their 3-game winning streak snapped in that 5-2 loss. Panarin still rolling, but the Blues coming off their 4th straight loss. They've scored 4 goals in their past 3 games. They've lost twice in regulation, once in overtime. And they have some injuries. Buchnevich took a high hit from Austin Watson, so he really wants to play against his former team, and so I don't. Oh shit! I did skip the Isles. My bad. Sorry.
It's
sorry.
all right. I see. We'll talk this one, then we'll go back to. We'll quickly go over the Isles again.
Yeah. We'll go. Sorry, my bad. Thank you for mentioning that. But I don't have a move here. Do you have a move in Rangers Blues?
I think the total's low for a reason, guys. Going to go goals against 5-on-5, 18 from the Rangers and 19 from St. Louis. These are really two defensive-minded teams. You're going to have Shesterkin who's off rest. You got to bet Shesterkin off rest. Someone in the chat was seeing a sneaky Rangers play. I would be leaning towards the Rangers here with Shesterkin back in net. St. Louis hasn't looked good despite they're coming off a loss, but that's a bad loss against Ottawa. They're 4-1. So I'd lean towards the unders here in this game. First period, even full game.
What's up, Lexi? Welcome. Fanatical Jim likes the under. Bruce Hayward says Rangers all day, not buying it. And he says Blues got problems. You could be right. I just, after losing 4 straight, I don't want to move on it. I can't believe I skipped over the Columbus Blue Jackets New York Islanders game because I thought this over 5.5 was the easiest bet on the board, and it was at minus 125. A vig that I said I wouldn't be betting, but I had to bet it. And I don't know how they put it at 5.5. It's moved to 6 at minus 105 at my book. I don't know how they opened it.
Brother.
I don't know how they did it. Like, and I even went over the last few games each team has played. It's shocking. Ron Crawford says that fits the Minnesota Wild -1, his road team at minus 175 or higher that's hitting at such a high percentage. Thank you for sharing that with us, Ron Crawford, my man.
Thanks, Ron.
And Ron, I'm sorry yesterday I didn't give you the recognition for your sweeping the board in 3 different sports. You went 3-0 in 3 different sports on Tuesday. Impressive work.
Holy, shout out to you, Ronnie.
Yeah, it was really impressive. Columbus, 18.4% power play, 80.1% penalty killing. Islanders, 18.5% power play, 82.3% penalty killing. The Jackets coming off their 3rd straight loss, 5-4 at home to the Leafs. They've lost 3 straight. They're 1-3-2 since that nice run, winning 9 of 11. Each of their past 4 losses have come by 1 goal. And, they don't have enough toughness on that team to win when the going gets tough, man. When there's 5 minutes, 10 minutes left in the game and you got to push it. They don't do that. So, Islanders have held a lead in 4 of their past 5 losses. I cannot. Maybe you need to fire Trotzy, and maybe you need to fire Lamoriello. I hate saying that. I love Lamoriello and I love Trotzy, but look, this team's just being an abomination this year. Take it away, Gogster. Columbus, New York Islanders.
More I think about this game, I don't know why I didn't see that over 5.5. Great number if you guys got that at 5.5 minus 115. Ryan there, Cause there hit that yourself. Jimmy minus 120. I'm even looking at this first period over 1.5 at minus 122. I don't mind that. I already got 6 plays on the card. I don't know if I want to add another one, but Merzlikins and Sorokin. Sorokin's a good goalie though at home. Just from the break, 6-4-2, but with a .923 save percentage, Jimmy, and a 2.40 goals against. That's good stats from a goalie. Barzal's out, Char's questionable, and then looking at Columbus, just Borkvist, Texier, and then Robinson should be back. It's going to be a back-to-back for Columbus. They got Minnesota, and it's also a back-to-back for the Islanders. They got Winnipeg. So that would be my only cause, not cause for concern, but both teams are going to be have back-to-backs the next day, Jimmy. So I lean towards the Islanders here, though, but it's not a game I have much action on.
10 minutes left for Gogster and I before we head into NCAA basketball. And I know it's a huge card that everybody wants to attack, but we have this giant NHL slate, and we're doing fine now with time. 8 p.m. Eastern. Next up, Anaheim Ducks 27-23-9, 11-12-5 on the road. Nashville Predators 32-20-4, 16-10-0 at home. We're at Bridgestone Arena in Nashville, Tennessee. What the hell is going on with John Gibson?
Fuck.
Too bad. This is the year where they really needed a veteran presence to hold the fort down between the pipes. He's not being able to do that. Shout out to Sean Pulliam in the house. Great to see you. And Dan Kelly just put a big bet on FanDuel odds boost. James Harden at least 10 assists and Sixers win at plus 150. Wow.
Cash in.
I could middle that if Harden gets a good start on assist. I like it. Okay, and Slatsy's on the Islanders with the under 9-0 last 9 here. Yes.
That's where I'd be looking, brother.
I am going against historical trend here, and we'll see if that blows up in my face. But, man, Columbus and New York Islanders, these are not the teams we remember them.
It's just the back-to-back thing, Jimmy. That's why I think that scares me a bit. Just the whole back-to-back thing for both teams. Other than that, I think it'd be an over.
And then if you waited for that 6, Slatsy, or I would keep waiting. Don't bet. If you want the under, don't bet it until just before puck drop. Ducks, Nashville, Saros, 27-17-3, 2.41 goals against 7-24 save percentage. Anaheim, 25% power play, 83.2% penalty killing. How bad are you in 5-on-5 that you would have won 27 of 59 hockey games with those special teams? Nashville, 23.8% power play. Their penalty killing is being worse and worse and worse as we go on. Ducks opened their road trip with an ugly 8-3 loss at the Blackhawks on Tuesday night. Most goals the Ducks have allowed this season. 3rd time Gibson has been pulled in 8 starts since the All-Star break. Since he represented the Pacific Division in the All-Star game. I don't know how that happened. So they've gone 10-14-3 since Christmas. Predators come off an impressive 2-1 comeback win at home over the Stars on Tuesday night. Shout out to Nutflush Allen, who bet the Predators to win in regulation at plus just under 1,400. Just a little
holy 1,400. Holy, that's what I got Justin Thomas this week. Nice hit.
Yossi has 7 points in a 3-game point streak. What a beast he is. Take it away here. Let me just get a quick market move in this Ducks spot. We have Where is it? Here we go. The Ducks open up at plus 163. They're now at plus 170. There's really been no move on the Predators, and this total sitting at 5.5 hasn't moved either. Juice to the over. Take it away.
This game here, Jimmy, it's a game I have some action on. Actually, sorry, one thing before I start. I got so excited about the Colorado game, guys. I actually have a play on the first period under. I said I liked the under. I took the first period under on the overnight plus 125. That's Colorado, Carolina, along with the addition of Colorado on the money line. Getting back to this Anaheim-Nashville game, I got two plays on this one, guys. I got Anaheim in the first period money line. I'm just expecting a bounce back from these guys, despite them not looking good. Gibson's been very bad since February 1st, probably the worst numbers at any goalie. But it's kind of like stocks, guys. It's like their stock's really low right now for Gibson. I do expect Gibson to only look better. He's going to regress the upside. He's got positive regression coming, in my opinion, from Gibson. Soros, he's 4-6 from since the break, 0.911 save percentage. Both teams are pretty healthy. Or Getzlav and Lindholm. I do want those two players going for Anaheim. That's going to help my cause here, Jimmy. But I'm taking Anaheim first period. I'm even taking Anaheim a little. Our guy Nutflush Allen here, team total over on Anaheim as well, plus 113. I expect there to be just a better performance. It's kind of going against the grain here. But I expect a better performance from Anaheim here, taking some plus money, plus 150, and also team total over 2.5, plus 113. Yeah, I'm expecting a better. They've looked so bad, Jimmy. A team like that can only look so bad for so long, in my opinion. It's not like they're missing their key players. They're a young team. It's kind of this happens with young teams, very up and down, very erratic, for lack of better terms. So, yeah, Anaheim.
You're on Ducks first period as well?
Yeah, Ducks first period plus 151. Sorry, guys, I'm not. And also going back to the Ottawa game, I don't know why I didn't get this pick out, Jamie. I tweeted it out. Ottawa team total over 3.5 plus 130 was my play there. Excuse me. Ottawa team total over 3.5 plus 130 there. So I'm kind of tailing your Ottawa play.
Well, I like your Ducks first period. I think it's a very interesting look that I may be joining you on. I like that look. Let's move on to another possible preview of the Stanley Cup Final, 9 p.m. Eastern. Tampa Bay Lightning 37-13-6, 18-8-2 at Calgary Flames, 34-15-7, 16-5-5 at home. Scotiabank Saddledome in Calgary, Alberta. Andrei Vasilevsky versus Jacob Markstrom. Vasilevsky hasn't been that good this year. 2.39 goals against average, 918 save percentage. I mean, he's been good in comparison to the league average, but he hasn't been as good in comparison to Vasilevsky of old. Markstrom has been very good. 2.14 goals against average, 926 save percentage, 8 shutouts. Tampa Bay power play 20.8%, penalty killing 80.3. Calgary power play 23%, penalty killing 85. I was sitting here staring at this over 6 at minus 110, staring and staring and staring, and it hasn't moved. It hasn't moved. I don't know. Look, I know how Sutter wants to coach this game. This is a chance for them to see how good of a hockey team they are, which makes me like the Flames as well. I guess I like the Flames here. This game means a ton to Sutter and the Flames group. What does it mean to the Lightning? I don't know. But do you want to fade the Lightning after they lose to the Jets? No, you don't. They play so well bouncing back from losses.
Yeah.
Diesel says Flames got to be the play.
What's the line? What's the line, Jim?
It's a pick'em. The 6 is a pick'em. The side is a pick'em.
That should be more in Calgary's favor. Yeah, based on that number, in my opinion, Calgary at home, they've been solid. Minus 110. Yeah, fuck. I'd be leaning towards Calgary here, but it's not a game I want. Vasilevsky, you've seen him in the past. He can turn it on at any point. 6-3, 0.902 save percentage. That save percentage that's not that good for him. 3.02 goals against, which is not too good for him as well. Markstrom's the better of the two goalies. Yeah, I'd be looking towards Calgary here, money line, but it's not on my card.
I think it might end up on my card.
I don't blame you, but yeah.
I think it might end up on my card. Or am I just going to watch it with no action on it? I mean, possibly.
Maybe, or even there's a lot of playoff games here. Colorado, Carolina. This is could be a playoff a matchup, Stanley Cup matchup. Could be some unders here. I wouldn't be leaning towards the over here. I'd be more towards the under.
You have to think that you're probably getting a nice price with the Flames at home. The Flames had gone 12-0-1 at home over their 13 games before that 5-4 loss with Vladar in goal. They should get I don't know if Vladar's good enough for
Hopefully it's not a trap line, because I'm surprised that's not like minus 135 or a little more juice for Calgary here.
No, if there was a plus line beside the Lightning, they would get attacked.
Like even a plus 105, plus 110.
I think they would just get bet heavy. Let's just quickly. I know. Okay, we have 3 minutes away from college basketball, but this is such a big game. I just want to see where the money is on this one.
Yeah.
I tend to not do that in NHL, but let's just see here. Go over to Sports Insights and let us know who it is here. Okay, here we go. I'm very curious to see where the cash is here. 3,782 tickets in. 61% of the tickets, 63% of the cash on the Lightning. 35% of the tickets on the under, 51% of cash on the under. Huh.
Yeah,
Currency says, Gogster, this is a classic no-goal first 10 minutes. Do you agree with that?
Calgary's just there. They could score. There's some teams, Calgary, New Jersey, I've been burned on trying to take no goal in the first 10 minutes, despite saying that I do think it's going to be a tighter game. It's just if Calgary scores in the first 10, I'm going to feel like an idiot. That'd be the only thing, Turnsy. But if anything, I like the Colorado Carolina game, no goal first 10 minutes. It's better than this one.
San Jose Sharks, final game on the card. San Jose Sharks, 24-25 and 7-11-12-4 on the road at LA Lakers. LA Kings, 32-19 and 7, 14-12 and 2 at home. Crypto.com. Zach Sawchenko probably going to be in net for the Sharks against Jonathan Quick. Maybe you could pull up Sawchenko's hockey database stats.
Oh, yeah, I know Sawchenko.
Walk us through, and I know you know him as well. And Michael Irvine is saying Lightning record off a loss last 3 years has been insane. It has been.
Key point from Mike there.
That's why I haven't moved on it, but I'm starting to think I'm going to move on it. So I almost want the over as well, but God. San Jose power play 18.9%, penalty killing 86.4%. The Kings power play 16.4%, penalty killing 75.8%. Let's move over to action and see what we are dealing with here. We have the Kings opening up minus 195. They're now up to minus 225, and this total at 5.5. Look, the Kings are a much better hockey team, but this is not the situation that I want to back them in. They are going to play each other 3 times in the next 8 days. San Jose was right in the playoff picture, and then they've gone 3 wins, 8 losses, 5 overtime regular overtime shootout losses. So they've lost 3 of their last 16 games, while the Kings are 8-2 over their past 10. San Jose comes off their third straight loss, 3-2 at Anaheim on Sunday. And so they lose 8-0 to Nashville, and they can't even bounce back against the Anaheim team that's clearly scuffling. So now you have Sawchenko and Stalock between the pipes because Aiden Hill and Reimer are on injured reserve.
That's not
now
good.
It's possible that both Eric Carlson and Jacob Mania are back for this game. It's possible that they're both Carlson's missed 15 games. The Kings finished their road trip so strong. They opened with that 4-3 loss at Dallas. They then defeat Columbus, Buffalo, and Boston in succession, and they beat Boston with that giant comeback. They've removed Elias Anderson from injured reserve, so he's about to be back in action. Cal Peterson has taken over the number 1 spot, even though it says that Jonathan Quick's there. And this penalty killing unit is looked better. They've been bad all year, 75.8% over the season, but they've been better of late. What do you think here? Take it away, Gogster. Sharks Kings.
Sharks Kings. I'm just pulling up Sawchenko quickly. Moose Jaw Warrior. This guy, man, I've been waiting for this guy to get a start. He was looking so damn good, guys, a couple years ago. He didn't get many starts either. I don't know why they don't start this guy more, San Jose Barracuda. In my opinion, he's been the better between him and Coronar from the year before. And then this year it's been Melichuk. I can't pronounce his name. And Sawchenko for the most part. So Sawchenko, in my opinion, is the better of the 2 goalies. Defensively, no problems for San Jose, especially if they're getting back Carlson. It's offensively, they have 5 guys from the AHL team called up. They're not bad players, though. Gadovich, could be butchering his name. He got in a nice fight the other night. Reedy, who's an up-and-coming stud. Veal, and also Balsers as well. It's a game, in my opinion. I do think the Kings are going to win this one. Sawchenko, there's a lot of question marks. Offensively, I don't expect San Jose to do much. Maybe a no-goal first 10 minutes here. Just more I think about it, coming back off that long road trip. Sawchenko, I do think he is the better of the AHL system goalies they do have, in my opinion. They're going to have to get Reimer back because Stalock's not their answer. I would lean towards the under here, no goal first 10 minutes, and even LA to get it done. Just too much offense over 60 minutes here.
and no action for me at this point because I don't want to bet the Sharks again for the rest of the season, and I don't want the Kings to have another spectacular trip.
Yeah.
So let's review Mr. Gogster's action here on the card. He has made one addition, but he has Colorado, Carolina, first period under 1.5 at plus 125. Ottawa, team total over 3.5 at plus 130. Anaheim, first period money line plus 151. I'm thinking of adding that myself. Anaheim, team total over 2.5 at plus 113. And Boston, Vegas, money line parlay at plus 100.
And I added Colorado money line.
And you added the Avs money line. For myself, I moved on 3 games last night. Wild -1 at -119. Senators -1 at plus 121. And the Columbus New York Islanders over 5.5 at -125. Let's just quickly just touch on if there's going to be any additions here. We have the Bruins -1.5 is a play that makes sense to me. Also, Bruins first period after letting that game slip. I'm interested in both of those. Now with Brossoit on goal.
I want to say one thing. I know I tweeted at Vegas, guys. I can't turn back on it. But if you guys are in the chat and haven't made that play yet, with the injuries with Vegas, I would like to do if I could change it up, Minnesota, Boston moneyline parlay. That's the one I think is even stronger now that Vegas has some more question marks because I hit this overnight. So yeah, Boston, Minnesota. I don't mind that moneyline parlay either.
Tweet it out, make it official. Diesel says, I love the Wild and Senators, and he's looking at Sharks plus 1.5. Ron Crawford spreadsheet play on Ottawa. I'm on Ottawa, as Minnesota. Philly, Florida, I'm going to stay off. Jets, Jersey, I'm going to stay off. Gogster's on the Avs. I can't wait to watch that game. Columbus Islanders is my over 5.5. Rangers, St. Louis is a stay off spot for me. Ducks first period, I think I will be adding, and I think I'll add the Flames. I think I'm going to add the Flames here. And then Sharks, Kings, I am off. There is NHL. Mr. Gogster, great work. Love having you on Wednesdays and Thursdays, my man. Follow Mr. Gogster on Twitter. There's his Twitter handle right there, at ego47_. Mr. Gogster, thank you for sharing your hard work with us. Any last words of love and respect to the Capitals supporting the show?
Yeah, quick shout out to everyone in the chat. Real Deal Prime, Diesel, Ryan, Mikey there, Deacon. Shout out to you, Deacon. Billy Friedrich, Michael Ervelina, Puzzler. Dennis, everyone in the chat, thank you so much, guys, for tuning in for a hockey segment. It's always fun doing this with you, Jimmy. We'll be back Wednesday for more hockey breakdowns, and let's have a fucking day today, guys. Let's get that cash. Bury your bookie. Take care, guys. Cheers.
There he is, Mr. Gogster. All right, let's get college basketball set up. Our man, Miggity Mac Daddy, is going to be joining us here at any moment. So let me make sure that I'm all set up. All markets. There we go. And our first game is the Big 12 Championship quarterfinal. We're going to want to talk the money. So we have 13 games we are talking about. We have about an hour set for this. So let's go. I have heard from him. He says he's ready to go. He says he's ready to rock. So he'll be on here any second. So everything up. We have this up. And then I need this up here. And let's see what we are dealing with scoring wise right now. And there he is. Speak of it, and he arrives. Miggity Mac, who is hammering this card into the very wee hours of the morning. He sent me a text at dawn. Damn it! I knew Central Michigan would play Toledo tough in the first half in that early game after Toledo outscored I can't even remember who they played, but by 50. Michigan up 10. I'd be off and rolling here. That's upsetting. Should have trusted myself there. First off, Miggity Mac in the house. CMac, how are you this morning?
I'm ready to rock, man. It's a huge day, so I'm pumped. Yesterday was just more. The last 3 days have just not been very good, not been bad. Just just up and down. So it says, you know what I mean? It was tough because it closed, and I actually got the half because I didn't bet it till we got off the show, that New Mexico game, but it pushed, obviously. Yeah. Here, it closed circa 152, and that Duquesne, they shot the lights out, the season best first. I mean, there's nothing I could do. I mean, if I bet that again, I would take the under again. So I got to go off my number. So it just, it's kind of how it has gone a little bit, so.
We have an absolutely enormous day ahead of us. everybody pumped up here to cap college basketball. So let's get right to work, CMac. We start with a game that pops off in 18 minutes. The Big 12 Championship quarterfinal. TCU Horned Frogs 19-11, 8-10 in conference versus number 22 ranked Texas Longhorns 21-10, 10-8 in conference. We're at T-Mobile Center in Kansas City, Missouri. We have TCU opening up as 5-point dogs. They've moved to 5.5 at most books. This total opened up at 125.5, and that's where you can find it right now, 125.5 or 126. Then, do we not have this up? Here we go. Rotation number 753, 754. We have 18,473 tickets in. 45% of the tickets are on Texas and 81% of the cash. That's why it's moved in their direction. And then from a total perspective, 66% of the tickets on the over and 62% of the cash. And it is hanging at that number. It's moved up a half point at some books. TCU's lost 2 straight. They lost at Kansas 72-68, then lost at West Virginia 70-64, and we're in both of those games. They lost at Texas 75-66 on the 23rd of February. Take it away here, CMac. We're getting everything started here with TCU, Texas.
Yeah, this is an interesting game here. I loved how this TCU's teams played, especially kind of down the stretch, losing Miles, some of these younger guys stepping up like Miller and O'Bannon Jr., Chuck O'Bannon Jr. One problem, though, going through it last night, looking at this game, Jimmy, was Texas just owns TCU. I think their last 5 or 6 meetings, they beat them by at least 9 points. I believe they won by 16-9 earlier this year. So, yeah, this is a tough one for me. And Texas owns TCU. TCU playing better. Texas hasn't played well lately. 0-5 ATS, but we saw this yesterday with Syracuse. A team that was horrible coming in, especially ATS, and losing. Even the Longhorns haven't lost all these games, just ATS. Have a blowout. Horned Frogs playing better ATS their last 6. This is difficult for me. I needed more points to play TCU, just going off how bad Texas has owned them with Chris Beard. I think Texas wins this game. I don't know if they cover that number. And I know some of this money's on the over. This early game with these two teams, how good defensively they are, especially Texas. TCU's not too bad themselves. I'd only look under. That's what this line hasn't moved. All the money's on the over. It's just staying the same, maybe even drop to 125.5 I've seen. So this was a look for me, lean both ways. I mean, TCU and definitely to the under here.
And nothing official. I'm not moving on this game either.
No.
That is the Big 12 Championship quarterfinal. So you have a lean towards TCU, lean towards the under. Let's move on to 1 p.m. action. This game popped off in 45 minutes. AAC, American Athletic Conference Championship first round. East Carolina Pirates, 15-14, 6-11 in conference versus Cincinnati Bearcats, 17-14, 7-11 in conference. We're in Dickies Arena in Fort Worth, Texas. We have East Carolina opening up as 5-point dogs. They've moved to 5.5. And this total opening up at 136.5 has dropped to 135.5. Let's see what we have from market movement. Is there anything that we can discuss here? We have, this is rotation number 761, 762. Just under 7,000 tickets in, and it's Cincinnati money. 68% of the tickets, 69% of the cash. And then we have 49% of tickets on the over, 54% of cash on the over. Take it away here. We head over to the AAC. And before you do, East Carolina had their 2-game winning streak snapped in that 70-62 loss at Wichita. And Cincinnati has been on a losing streak and not looking good. I wonder if you're surprised they're taking all this money off of a 5-game losing streak. They did win at East Carolina 60-59 on January 30th, and they won at home over East Carolina 79-71 on January 12th. But are they the same team? Take it away here, CMac. East Carolina, Cincinnati.
I don't think they're the same team here with Cincinnati. This is a team I don't want right now. There's so many games on the board here today, Jimmy. This was just a real tough one for me. Going forward, I remember taking East Carolina earlier in the year a few times. They covered for me, and a few they didn't. Cincy, to me, was really good early on, and they haven't been good at all lately. Obviously, always a great rebounding team, Still poor shooting. That happens even now. And East Carolina wasn't good against the number at times. But these teams' records, 15-14, I think since he's 16-14, something like that, 17-14. The one thing that could keep East Carolina in this game is they shoot the ball better, especially with Jackson. He's our best player. He kept them in the games before. What was it, an 8-point game and I believe a 4-point game? These two teams played earlier in the year. I had it somewhere on here. So it's close. So it's right in between here at 5.5. I get, well, Cincinnati's the name taking the money here. I'd only be on East Carolina in the points. This was just a fringe one for me. Their defense isn't very good, East Carolina, and they can kind of get beat up inside and on the boards, and that's where Cincinnati will take advantage in this game. It's just, I don't know if they should be laying this number, how they've been playing right now at 5.5. So I'd look East Carolina here.
Looking East Carolina, and that was also said in the chat. Diesel liking ECU to cover, but Cincy to win. CT Base liking Sac State. We're going to talk about Sacramento State here in a second. Mike M says I like an over here. ECU can shoot, but their defense is suspect. Is there anything official for you in this East Carolina Cincinnati spot, or do we move on?
We move on. This one's close. I might add it here. I've really been thinking about this game. I don't know if there's so many games later on that I'm on today, but man, this one was close. I think the points here could be pivotal. And a team I don't trust, shooting. I think when I always want a dog, Jimmy, I always want a dog that could at least hit their free throws, decent 3-point shooting team because they can hang in a ball game. So yeah, I'm definitely looking here. I will let you know at the end here if I want to take it.
All right, let's move on to the next spot on the board. This pops off in an hour and 41 minutes, 2 p.m. Eastern, SEC second round action. And we're going back to talk Missouri basketball after your impressive call on Missouri yesterday, CMac, +4, went outright by 12 points, 12-20 in conference, 12-20 on the year, 5-13 in conference versus the LSU Tigers, 21-10, 9-9 in conference. Missouri opening up as 11-point dogs, now 11.5-point dogs. This total opening up at 134, now at 132 and a half. Now, they gained a little confidence probably off that win over lowly Georgia, and it carried over against Ole Miss. And, I wonder if they can bounce back from that 20-point loss at LSU, 75-55. LSU, clearly the real deal. They almost beat Arkansas, who I think is a very dangerous basketball team, after beating up on Missouri. They lost 77-76, and then they won in overtime against Alabama. It's just that this feels sort of similar to the Boston College Wake Forest situation, where we have a Missouri Tigers team that has no pressure on them anymore, playing with the house's money. Now, I was not going to move on Boston College full game, but I was very interested in them first half. And I feel a similar situation here with Missouri first half. Take it away. I can't wait to hear your breakdown of the second round SEC battle. And we know you know these Missouri Tigers. Well, it's Tiger on Tiger. Take it away, C-Mac.
Tiger on Tiger action. Yeah, I can't wait for this one. This one should be good. I think it's a similar situation as well. The biggest problem I have is what Missouri did well, which I needed yesterday, Jimmy, was they shot it well. They shot 54% again. Can they do that against this LSU team, who is completely from Will Wade's in the past is really bad defensively as LSU. I think they're 29th in the country defense efficiency. And the problem still for Missouri, 314th in scoring offense. They only score 65 a game. They were always better all year at home. They got pounded by 20 at LSU, I believe. I think it's too many points as well. They have to shoot it well. Brown has to have a big game. He's their best player. Obviously, Pinson's back for LSU. They win this one, but yeah, I think they could be asleep at the wheel. I think you could be onto something here first half or even full game. I mean, especially if it's they're just 10.5s out there?
11.5s now.
11.5s now, yeah. So I think they got to lose too. It's just, will the shots drop basically for this team? That's the big question. because at times they can be ugly to watch, and LSU is way better. So we'll see. It's just can they get it done? I don't know, but with Eason, all these guys, like I said, Penson's back, Darius Days, they could run all over Missouri again and win by 20. But you gotta love March basketball. Dogs are live. I mean, there's all I have to say is there's no way I'm taking LSU in this game. Like I just don't even think about. There's a few favorites today that I think you can look at, and one we're going to talk about soon, but not here. I could only look Missouri.
Well, I'm going to move on Missouri first half, plus 6.5. It would not surprise me if they get beaten badly in the second half. If it does work out that way, if Missouri does start rolling off the hop, perfect live betting opportunity for LSU. This game is in an hour and 37 minutes, and I'm very, very excited about it. I will be watching it very closely and live betting it all afternoon. All right, let's keep rolling. We've already heard from our guy CT Bays. Is CT Bays going to meet us in San Antonio or what, man? I would love to know if he is, because I haven't had the pleasure of hanging out with him. I know Tease and a bunch of homies have hung out with him. I have not and want to. He's already moved on Sacramento State Hornets here, plus 9.5. We have, where is it? I already saw it. They opened up at 9.5. Now there's 10s and 10.5s on the board. This total opened at 133.5. It is now at 132.5. Big Sky Championship quarters. Sacramento State 11-17, 6-14 in conference. Versus Montana State 24-7, 16-4 in conference. We're at Idaho Central Arena in Boise. So it was not a very I don't know. The game was on while we were here on the show yesterday, and Sacramento State was up comfortably at the half, up by 9, and there was times where it looked like it could slip out of their grasp against lowly Idaho. They win 57-54, and they're going up against Montana State, who finished the year very strong, winning 3 straight. Let's see when Sacramento State played Montana State here. They
played them well both times.
Both times. Oh, yeah.
6
they lost
and 2.
Yeah, 68-66. What a close game. That was at home against Montana State. And then they faced them again just a few days ago, losing 75-69 on the road. Wow. CT Bays is on them, but we've already – CT Bays is still working on San Antonio. Jim, come on. We need you. We need you, CT Bays.
Come on.
What Josh Easley says Sacramento State for a bounce back, baby. Raven in the Desert on Sacramento State and the under. Can't wait to hear your breakdown of this spot. Big Sky, quarters, Sacramento State, Montana State.
Yeah, this is I like the Big Sky. I love these teams, especially for late night during the conference. You can always get a real kind of easy over in some of these games. While I'm not really crazy on the total here, even though this is low, it's come down. If this, keeps creeping down to 131, I know the game stayed under yesterday. A few of them did, but I think some of these games go over today. This could be one that's just too low, because obviously look at the other 3 games, Jimmy, 140, 146, 153. Sacramento State's not the same team. This team can score. The last 4 or 5 weeks of the season, I've watched them. They played way better basketball, and this total is just too low. Remember I brought it up, what was that, last week? Did I have them? Similar situation, the over. I think it's low here too. I might make that as a side bet, but I'm on the 10.5. It's too many points. Montana State's very good, but I like Montana always a little bit better at home. I know this is on, in Idaho, in Boise, but just a neutral court. I think Sacramento State's just not getting the love. I know they played yesterday. They're a different team than they were early on in the year. They have multiple guys that can score. So I like them here. Give me the 10.5. Too many in this one. And if this drops a little lower, I'm going to be on the over as well.
All right, let's quickly. You know what? I'll line shop for you when we are breaking down the next game.
Okay, but there's 10.5s everywhere.
Yeah, there's 10. I just want to get the VIG down as low as possible here. So see what Circa and Penny are offering you. Okay, so there you have it. CMac is on the board with Sac State at plus 10.5. And I think this might be another spot where I lean to the first half again. Okay, let's move on. Next up, we have 2:30 p.m. Eastern, and we head over to the ACC quarters. Boston College 13-19, 6-14 in conference versus Miami Hurricanes 22-9, 14-6 in conference, and we're at Barclays Center. So one of the things that I do here that isn't based on matchups is, like I said yesterday with Boston College, that the pressure was off, playing with house's money. Watch out for them first half. When a team who was little was expected and they win their first game. Now I know they were lukewarm favorites in that first game, and then they shock with a win over Wake Forest, and that game goes to overtime. Then they play their third game in 3 days. I expect the party to come to a screeching halt, is what I expect generally. And this opened at 7.5. There are 8s on the board. Boston College being the dog, obviously, and this total has dropped from 140 to 137. And I want to hear your thoughts here. We have Miami close the season strong and beat this Boston College team on the road 81-70 8 days ago. If they finished with winning 3 of 4, they lost to Virginia Tech by a point and lost to Virginia by 3 points, both at home. Disappointing, but still strong. And Boston College feels good about themselves. I think this party comes to an end. Real Deal Prime says Boston keeps it close. Maybe they do, but they got to be exhausted.
What do you think, Jimmy? You think they keep it?
I want Miami. I just
early or full
no,
game?
I want Miami full game. Okay. I want all 40 minutes to take care of business here. But I haven't moved on it because I wanted to hear everybody's breakdowns and thoughts, chat, and you, CMac. So take it away here. Quarterfinals of the ACC.
Yeah, this one should be really, really good. One thing is, someone mentioned under in this game. I like that as well, as this is too much. One thing Miami lately, though, defensively hasn't been very good. Remember their last game that they just played where they went into BC and won by, 9 or 10? I had the under in that. That went over because Boston College, especially at home, was just a dead nuts under team all year long and really good for me as well. So, I mean, that's what I'd look to, too, total-wise in this spot. But Miami's been so good on the road, so good on a neutral floor. But this has been not an easy rivalry. The underdogs 8-2-1 the last 10. And still, BC has nothing. But you're starting to get to the third, fourth day. But I still think they're going to be loose. They can't feel any, They won again yesterday. I got to think we played this team before, just a week or so ago. We could maybe hang with them. I'm not on this one. This is one you wanted to talk about. That's that dreaded 7.5. Miami's the better team. They show up. They have McGusty, Wong. They have the better guards here. They could win by 15, but I don't know. I'm laying the points, but you might be right. BC, they had, beat Pitt, but then come back and have a huge win against Wake. And what a shit show for Wake Forest in that game to let Boston College score that many points. That's what I'm worried about with Miami. Miami needs to kind of turn how they played about 6 weeks ago, where they were playing great defense and playing unders in the 60s, winning games, or even back then covering when they were catching points, Jimmy. But now they're laying a number. This one was interesting to me. I'm not going to pull the trigger on anything. I'd lean under. And in the end, I think Miami wins. I just don't want to lay 7.5.
I am going to lay 7.5 in this spot. So that'll be the first kind of legitimate, decent sized favorite that I will be backing. And let's keep rolling right along. We switch conferences. Let me just get this up here and everything. Oh, by the way, we got you that 10.5 at -110. -114 is that 10.5 at Pinnacle. So that's the situation. All right, we head over to the Big West. Big West Championship quarterfinals. CSU Bakersfield Roadrunners 8-18, 2-12 in conference versus Long Beach State Beach 18-11, 12-3 in conference. We're at the Dollar Loan Center in Henderson, Nevada. Let's see what we are dealing with here. We have CSU Bakersfield opening up as 5-point dogs. That's moved to 6.5 or 7. This total opened up at 136.5, is now at 135.5. CSU Bakersfield came in on a 3-game losing streak. They defeated CSUN 58-45 in the first game of the tournament, and playing against this Long Beach squad that's capable of putting up big numbers, but didn't the last couple of games of the season. And let's just take a look and see when CSU Bakersfield played Long Beach and just give you exact scores here. They played Long Beach at Long Beach on February 3rd, losing 74-65, losing just by 9. And their other game versus Long Beach was canceled. That was their only spot against Long Beach State this year. Take it away here, CMac. We are in the Big West quarters, CSU Bakersfield, Long Beach State Beach.
Real quick, last touch on that BC game. If BC's in it too, Langford's got to have another big game. He's got to score 20. He's their best player. So if he just is going to have one of these 7-point games too, I think your Miami bet would be good there. I mean, let's get into this one. I don't love this as moved because I took it at 5 last night. I laid it here with Long Beach State. I know they only won by 9 earlier. And Long Beach's problem has been their defense a little bit all year, but they've been able to outscore teams like crazy. Man, I had them last weekend on Saturday, and that was one of and I got hooked by LSU, and I had an unreal day, and it could have been even greater. And I didn't take money line. Usually with the 1.5, I might go money line, but I thought 2 because it was 2.5. I got a 2. I thought they could win, and man, that was a tough one. So I got Knicks there. But this Bakersfield team's not very good, Jimmy. They can't shoot it well. They're 8-18 this year. They lost 3 of 4 and 8 of 10 before they beat a horrible Northridge team. That's even worse than them. Even I like Bakersfield in that game the other day. So, but I think this one, the only problem is I think that you can lay it here. It's just moved to 7, and I got that 5 last night. It's 2 full points. I think they just outscore them here. Bakersfield 324th in scoring and one of the worst 3-point shooting teams in the country. I think kind of Long Beach just runs them out of the gym offensively. Even though Long Beach, a little bit of their problem can be their defense, I just think they take it to Bakersfield here at the new Dollar Loan Center here right down the street from me.
Wow, Kyle Hintlian wanting to move big boy action on Long Beach. Great job beating them line move. I'm a little hesitant at I'm not going to catch it here. These are the spots that always make me nervous when a team is playing with the house's money. But look, they went 2-12 in conference.
2-12.
Great job getting that 5.
Well, being up last night for like 3 hours, just go through everything from till 3 a.m. And they've been good to me all year. Max has been all over them. 17-5 ATS the last 22 for Long Beach. And like I said, off the ATS loss where they won the game, but only by 1, they're 4-1 the last 5. So I got to roll with the Beaches here.
All right, we are doing fine for time. This pace is very, very good, so no need to rush, no need to worry. Let's move on to the MAC. Head over to the quarters in the MAC. Miami of Ohio Redhawks 14-17, 8-12 in conference versus Kent State Golden Flashes. Kent State being a very good team this year. We're at the Rocket Mortgage Fieldhouse in Cleveland, Ohio, and we have Miami of Ohio opening up as 6-point dogs. They're now 6.5-point dogs. This total opening up at 140 has dropped to 139.5. Miami of Ohio finished the year by beating the Chippewas in Central Michigan 75-61, and we see what the Chippewas are doing right now to Toledo. Toledo starting to possibly pull away late. And then they beat Eastern Michigan 76-63 to close out the regular season. And here they find themselves playing Kent State, who has been playing very good basketball. They are winning games and winning them comfortably. They have won, 3, 5, 7, 10, 12 straight games. One of them was at Miami of Ohio, 78-65. Clearly a team moving in the right direction, the Kent State Golden Flashes. And I don't see why they're not deserving and comfortable at 6.5-point favorites here. And I don't see why they don't make a run in the MAC championship. So let's hear what CMac has to say. Miami of Ohio versus Kent State.
Yeah, I think they can make a run. here as well. What a team that's kind of took off, especially the last 2 months of the year. And you know what it's been is their defense, Jimmy. Kent State, this team has just been unreal defensively. Talk about Ohio. They've just shut them down. A team, both games, they can't figure them out. You talked about the 78-65 win earlier on the road. Day Grant's got to be big for Miami, Ohio. That was a middle of the road team. I thought they could play better in certain circumstances, but this was another one. I don't love too many favorites, but if I had to, I'd lay it here, the 6.5 with Kent State. They have the best player on the court with Sincere Carey. I think they get it done. Their defense is solid. And at this number, I would lay it here. I think they can take care of Miami, Ohio.
Yeah, I think this is going to be added to my card here. Kent State to take care of business and go on a little run. So let me ask you this here, as I'm probably going to bet this. Why aren't you going to bet this? Why is it just going to stay in the lean category? Is it because it's that spread range that makes you uncomfortable?
Yeah, but I was thinking about betting it. Here, this was kind of one of my last ones too that I'm looking at. I'd lay it, yeah. So make it official. I'll join you with
you
it.
Want it official too. So let me just add this here. So CMac is on the board with Kent State. I'm going to try to find you a 6.
Okay.
There has moved to 6.5 at a ton of books. Kyle Henley looking at Kent, Ohio, parlay here. And we are going to move on to the Mountain West. I love when you talk about your UNLV running Rebels. Let's get to work here. What up, live chat bartender? We're in the Mountain West. UNLV running Rebels 18-13, 10-8 in conference versus Wyoming Cowboys 24-7, 13-5 in conference at the Thomas and Mack Center in Las Vegas, Nevada. We have UNLV, opening up as basically a pick'em. They are now 1 or 1.5 point dogs. This total of 136 drops down to 134.5. UNLV closed losing 2 of 3. Their one win was at home over these Cowboys 8 days ago. They beat Wyoming 64-57. And they also, in the last 5 games, took out Colorado State. And we've seen how good Colorado State has looked at times this year. And then you would think a team that's 10-8 in conference going up against a team that's 13-5 in conference and basically being a 1 or 1.5 point spread is fascinating. Wyoming lost to San Diego State, lost to Colorado State, lost to UNLV. They lost 3 of 4 before barely getting by Fresno State at home, 68-64 in overtime to close out the regular season. I wonder, is this 2 teams moving in opposite directions? I can't wait to hear your breakdown here of your running Rebels. Take it away, Mountain West Championship quarters, UNLV, Wyoming.
Yeah, I think it is 2 teams moving in different directions. A little bit of the problem is, you just talked about it, UNLV just beat them at home last week. And I liked UNLV there. Man, but the place should have, even with this early start, I'm thinking probably 8,000 at the Thomas and Mack, 8 or 10,000 there. This kind of matchup all goes along with Hamilton and Maldonado, 2 of the best guards, not only in this conference, in the country. They could really put on a show here. I think these 2 guys battle it out. UNLV is on the road wearing the red, even though they're at home. If you have a pick 'em here, the Rebels, I know, -1, I guess some spots, it could only be UNLV. I'm a little tricked by, remember how we talked ASU yesterday, Arizona State, how they just beat Stanford, but a little different here. UNLV's in their home building, and Wyoming, who played great on the road all kind of year long, started scuffling at the end. And you know what their problem was? The offense. The offense really just started scuffling. Ike, nowhere to be found, the big man down below. If UNLV can shut him down, and UNLV's bench has been solid with these guys that have come in, Williams, Ham, and others. But to me, it comes down to Hamilton, Maldonado. I think it's a close game. I lean under. I know that first one just went under. That side, it scares me. I think, what'd you just say? It was 64-57. I think it's kind of similar. I think we got a good one here at the MAC. But I'd lean Rebels and I'd lean under.
And I understand. I completely understand the idea of not wanting to back a team to win again 7 or 8 days later. And you're right. It kept us off Arizona State and saved us money there And I wonder if it should save us money here again.
I was gonna maybe live bet this game. I mean, like I said, yeah, CT Base ain't gonna phase Wyoming. They just lost there. I don't think it will either. This team's been very good on the road. It's just if they just played, it's tough. I think they're sliding a little bit. Can they go in and win? And you know what's been Wyoming's been very good on neutral site, and UNLV has it. UNLV has not played well in the Mountain West Conference tournament in years. Even when they were a little bit better 5-6 years ago, they are not very good here in this tournament at home. So can they win here? Oh yeah. So I think I'm gonna watch, maybe make a live bet here.
Yeah, I think that I'm getting cold feet. I don't think I'm going to pull the trigger anymore. And thank you, Billy Friedrich, line shopping for us. He found you that 6.5 at -103. There are no sixes on the board. I checked a bunch of different spots here. So he did find you that 6.5 at -103. All right, we're doing great with time. We have moved on to the portion of college basketball games that CMac and I have picked that he will be going over again on NCAA net profits. We have, because that show starts off at 5 p.m. and we have some big ones left. We have 5 games left that we're going to talk about. Then Dutch Boy Fresh joining us for NBA. Let's go. We go to the A10 championship second round. UMass Minutemen 14-16, 7-11 in conference versus George Washington Colonials 12-17, 8-9 in conference. Let me move over here and make sure that I've got. So UMass opening up as 2.5-point favorites. It's moved to 3 at a few books. This total opened up at 148 and it's climbing. It's climbing quickly at some books and it stayed flat at some others. But FanDuel is the one leading the way. It's brought it all the way up to 150 and a half. 150 and a half. So let's move over to wrong thing there. So UMass was on a winning streak. They lose at Fordham 85-73 and then play Fordham again at home, take care of business. Beat them 81-73 and then take out George Mason in overtime 83-80. So they won 2 straight and feel good about themselves. George Washington has not looked good. They've lost 3 of their last 4. That lone win was triple overtime at home over Duquesne. Maybe that looks a little better after Duquesne's performance yesterday, but Duquesne's still 1-16 in conference. I wonder if that makes this squad vulnerable. I wonder if you believe in what you've seen from UMass over the last week. Take it away here. A10 championship, second round, UMass, George Washington.
Sorry, looking at these games going on right now. Dog's already barking. I love it. All right, let's keep rolling right here. I like the dog here in this one. Jimmy, I've been able to pick out these George Washington games, I think, pretty good. I've had a good read on them all year. I think they're the better basketball team here than UMass. I think UMass is soft. One thing is if they hit shots with Fernandez and Buttrick, they can be very good. But one thing George Washington did the first matchup where they won 77-68 at UMass, they pounded it inside, just pounded it, and they easily took care of business. Freeman, all these guys, Bishop for GW, I think they get the job done. They were basically a home game here for George Washington. It's in D.C. They play at that smaller, Smith Center, but they're playing at where the Wizards play, Capital One Arena for this one. But basically a home game here. I don't trust Massachusetts at all. I think they're only going by name in this one. I'm seeing a few places already come down to 2.5 a little bit here at Caesars, DraftKings. Give me the +3. I think George Washington wins outright. By the way, UMass, Jimmy, 0-9, the last 9 against George Washington, 0-9 ATS. Give me George Washington here.
Wow.
They haven't beat him in
George
5 years.
Being hung at +3 at -105. I'd be curious to see what you get at 3.5 at -170.
I don't think there's a 3.5.
Yeah, you just have to pay for it at Pinnacle. I was just taking a peek.
Oh, okay.
Worth it. It's -170.
I think they went outright. I'm going to take a money line as well.
So do you want to make the money line official here as well? Because you can get +134 at Pinnacle. Or do you want to just stick with the +3 for show purposes?
Just the +3. Sure. I'm taking a money line as well. Throw it on there as well. I mean, I'm taking it. So I'm betting it.
All right. So a double up spot here. I'm getting +134 at Pinnacle. I wonder if anyone can beat that money line on George Washington, plus 120 at Circa. And then you're getting that plus 3, G-Wash plus 3 at just minus 105. So very little VIG there. Real Deal Prime says, bet it, Jimmy, book it. Oh, and plus 142. Thank you, Billy. Thank you. And a little look from Raven in the Desert, Marquette money line, Wichita money line, Oregon money line. Little combo action. So plus 142, 8 cents better at Bookmaker. That's a great book. That is a great book. Okay, there you have it. So double up action is first double up of the day on George Washington plus 142 and plus 3. All right, let's move over to the Conference USA quarters here. Conference USA quarters. And see what we are dealing with. I love that you are capping Rice after they got you right in the bottom mouth yesterday. I love that as well. I love attacking. Well, I will see how you want to attack this. So maybe you want to back them after what you saw yesterday. Rice opening up at plus 11. You can get them at 11.5 or 10.5, depending on where you shop. They're still opening up at 127. It's now down to 125.5. Rice 16-15, 7-11 in conference versus North Texas Mean Green 23-5, 16-2 in conference. And we're at the Ford Center in Frisco, Texas for this. And it was a 2-game losing streak that Rice snapped in that 73-61 win over Charlotte. And I wonder if that loss North Texas had against UTEP is the perfect wake-up call for this group, who had to put a little streak together before that loss. And I shouldn't say little. I should say that was a 17-game winning streak. It included beating Rice at Rice 67-44 and beating Rice at home 75-43. Maybe it was the perfect thing to happen to them before the conference tournament, losing to UTEP. Take it away here, CMac, Rice, North Texas.
I'll make this my shortest here, Jimmy. Give me the under here. They held Rice to 43 and I think 46, right? The first 2 games. Like Billy Friedrich wrote in the chat, I got 127 last night. I thought as long as it stayed under 125, we're good here. This is another spot. I just want to double up after yesterday. Some freak bullshit. Because I think their team total. What's the team total for Rice? 53, or I don't even know what it might be.
57.5.
57.5. I think that's a look as well. I don't want to go crazy and double up here. I just did it there. That's something I'm going to probably bet as well. Rice got away with it yesterday. So you have the slowest paced team, most just drawn out in North Texas, who, by the way, Jimmy, covers numbers and stays under these totals like crazy. They win more than anybody, 65-48 or whatever. I think they could even cover this number. I think Rice had their day in the sun yesterday. This is conference time. North Texas defense #1 in the country, and then offensively they're the slowest. I can't believe it's this high either. I thought this could have been 119. So yeah, I'm on the under here.
And the under 125.5 and minus 108. If anybody can,
no 126.
Can we find a 126? I'd love to find a 126. If anybody can beat the 125 and minus 108, the legal American books, I only see 125.5s. But if anybody can find a 126, Billy Friedrich says, awesome that we're on the same page. CMac, Real Deal Prime says under. Okay, by the way, Buchnevich came out in street clothes to say hi to the Rangers. Thank you for sharing that with us. There you have it. So we have 126 minus 108 at Bookmaker. Beautiful. Thank you, Billy. Under 126 minus 108. And I wonder if that is in a spot that I should tail here. Very, very, very interesting. Julian Cesario in the house. Julian, need to have a big weekend in Vegas to come meet us in San Antonio. Says, I agree, Connor. North Texas should smash and cover. All right, let's move over to the Big Ten. Maryland Terrapins 15-16, 7-13 in conference versus Michigan State Spartans 20-11, 11-9 in conference. We're at Gainbridge Fieldhouse in Indianapolis, Indiana. Maryland opening up as 3-point dogs. It's moved to 2.5. FanDuel and Caesars have now moved it to 2. This total opened up at 142. It's now at 140.5 or 139.5. And this one is going to be fun. Let's pull this up here. I can't wait to hear what everybody thinks of this spot. And Matty Ice started a taint play today. Knows this Michigan State team inside and out. I'd love to hear his thoughts on Michigan State. They showed life. They showed life near the end of the season after not doing it for some time. Sorry, let me just pull this up here. And I apologize if you hear my son crying in the background, searching for titty, demanding titty, clearly not getting the titty that he so longs for. And that would make me scream and cry as well. Here we go, the Michigan State spot here. So we have Maryland coming in off that 10-point loss to Michigan State that snapped their 2-game winning streak. Michigan State shot 47.4% from the field and 38.9% from three. And we know that we can't trust this offense here. Gabe Brown and Malik Hall had it going on against Maryland at home to close out the regular season. Do you think they'll have it going on here, CMac? Take it away, Michigan State at home to Maryland.
I don't know if they will. That's been their whole problem, especially with Brown. This guy's been so hot and cold. And another thing is their shooting from home and away or neutral has just been crazy. Like, they're actually pretty ranked high 3-point percentage-wise. And it's really been all at home. They shot it unreal, the 3-ball at home. And on the road or on neutral floors, they've been horrible as Michigan State. This was a tough one for me here. Obviously, they ran out to a 20-point lead at halftime, 46-26 last week. And then, ended up winning by 10. I'm just not crazy about Maryland. They've been good to me in certain spots. I lean under, even though Michigan State kind of all year has been an over team, but we're in a little conference play, overs still happen. I don't know about here. And Maryland's not the same team that used to be kind of a dead under the last few years. They've played to some overs during the year as well. Tough one here. I don't trust Michigan State enough. If you think this is a short number and you like Michigan State and think Brown or them are going to make shots, I think you lay it here. I don't. So this was a pass for me.
Is it just trusting Izzo? Is it possible that that's all you have to do here is trust Izzo? Look at what Boeheim's doing without Buddy in the lineup.
Yeah.
Is that enough? Can you just trust Izzo?
Yeah, but and they're laying though. They're not catching points, but still, it's a short number. I think they should hand Maryland again. I just don't love it, so I don't want them here.
All right, no move. Makes me want to. Okay,
but if you think this is cheap, Jamie, because like I said, Michigan State's not probably at home. What'd they lay that day? 6, right? Yeah. So neutral floor, they're just laying 2.5. They've just been so erratic, as a lot of teams have been this year. Michigan as well. They're taking care of business right now against Indiana, up by 15. If you think so, I just have had a hard time with Michigan State all year. At home, they've been pretty good to me, but on neutral or on the road, I haven't trusted them as enough. And Maryland's a weird team. Everyone, they play a great game. It seems like every 4 or 5 games they beat somebody, and they're not horrible. They're not total bottom feeders of the Big Ten. They're just Maryland. So if you think this number's short, I think you lay it with Michigan State. I'm not going to, though.
Yeah, I'm going to need to sit with that a little longer before I pull the trigger. All right, 2 games left for us. We head over back to the Mountain West, and I can't wait to hear what you think about Colorado State here. The market is betting them. We have Utah State Aggies 18-14, 8-10 in conference versus Colorado State Rams 24-4, 14-4 in conference. Thomas and Max Center. If you had told me this would have opened up -1.5 3 weeks ago, I'd say you're crazy. It's impossible. But that's what it opened up here. Now it's moved to 3.5, even 4 at some books. And this total's gone from 139 to 136.5 or 137. So let's see what we are dealing with. And then the last game we're going to be talking about is Virginia, North Carolina. That's up next. Utah State looked pretty good over their last 4 games. They did lose to Colorado State 66-55 about 2 weeks ago, but they'd won 3 or 4 other than that. And then Colorado State had that shock loss at UNLV 72-51. And I wonder if that's enough to make us bet UNLV against Wyoming. And I know I did get cold feet after we talked about that, but that was a decisive, interesting win. Since then, though, Colorado State beat Wyoming at home 61-55, beat these Utah State Aggies 66-55 on the road, and then beat Boise State 71-68. Why the short number, and is that a red flag? Take it away, Utah State, Colorado State.
I don't know. I mean, it was short last night at 2. Now this has moved. All the money has come on Colorado State here. In the end, I think Colorado State is the better team. But I don't know. I'd be leery all this money going in here with Colorado State. When I've seen them play, especially the UNLV games, they did not look very good. But other than that, all year long, they played well. This Utah State team has been up and down. They dealt with injuries all year long. That first matchup was 77-72. And then you just talked about the second one was more low scoring. You know, they need Miller. Bean's got to play really well here for the Aggies in this one. And they got to shoot it well. Both teams shoot it pretty good. You know, both decent from the field, from 3. And obviously for Colorado State, Rodney's their best guy. He averages almost 20 a game. He's got to be huge for him. Colorado State, both these teams need to win, but Colorado State, really, they're disappointed last year, didn't get in. They got to win here tonight. I think that's why all the money's come on them. People expect them to win here. This one's a tough one here. Total's tough too, because of course I could see this defensively and stay under. But if the teams are hot, this could get over. You know, this could get into 70s like the first matchup. This one was a difficult one running for me as well here, Jimmy. I thought if it moves even more, I just haven't been able to trust Utah State, you know, in key moments all year long. They've taken care of the shitty teams all year. You know, they haven't had any big wins. And look at Colorado State. They've done okay, but they got their ass kicked by San Diego State, lost UNLV twice. So just a tough game here. So yeah, this is one I haven't made a move on. What were you looking at here?
I expected, when I saw 1.5, I thought I need to figure out why that is. Again, I apologize for my son in the background. Apologize to everyone for my son in the background. He's not happy. He's nonplussed. He wants 162 games in the MLB season, and he's demanding it right now. My girlfriend's doing her best work to keep him quiet, and I apologize. Though it was a 1.5 that was just a huge red flag, CMac, a huge red flag, and it made me completely pump the brakes on it. Now, Cab had no fear and took them at 1.5. I knew that at 1.5 they were going to get all the money in the world, especially after just beating them by 11 points. And when that happens, I get cold feet, and that's what happened for me. So
I don't blame him with the 1.5, but like now if it gets to 3.5, 4.5 neutral site, you're starting to reach here. You're going to see it all day long, and you've already seen it this morning. Dogs are going to bark here. You know, they're just games are going to be tight. It's just how it goes. Not all of them. There's going to be blowouts, but not an easy one here at Thomas and Mac. I couldn't make a move yet. I don't blame anyone right away. I looked at it last night and thought I kind of liked Colorado State, but they've disappointed me in some big moments this year.
Well, let's move on to the final game on the card, and then we will do the review. We close up with the beauty. ACC quarters, Virginia Cavaliers 19-12, 12-8 in conference versus number 25, number 25th ranked North Carolina Tar Heels 23-8, 15-5 in conference. We go back to Barclays Center. Virginia opening up as 4.5-point dogs. That's moved to 4, and DraftKings is the first book to move it to 3.5. This total opened up at 133.5 and has dropped down to 130. 130 here. We have Virginia coming off back-to-back wins after back-to-back losses. They lost to Duke by 4 and Florida State by 1, both at home. Then went on the road to beat Louisville 71-61, faced them again 4 days later at home and beat them by a point. And North Carolina on the other side is rolling, and they've done it in pretty easy fashion. They faced Virginia when? Just once this year? They faced them on January 8th and beat them badly, 74-58 at home. They're currently on a 5-game winning streak. They've won 7 of 8. That loss to Pittsburgh was a surprise, but then they've gone on a really nice run since then. Take it away here, CMac. Last game on the card, Virginia, North Carolina.
Yeah, I thought this game was is going to be a real good one. Virginia, we talked about yesterday, laying 6 points. That's not where I wanted them. We stayed off Louisville, kept that game close, but they escaped with the victory. And this one, obviously, North Carolina coming off the huge win over Duke, and Coach K's last game there at Cameron Indoor. I think it's a little bit, everything you get up for conference play, but I think it's a little bit of a flat spot. I loved it. I really wanted to get a 4.5, and I think there was still one. There's one at DraftKings. If someone can double check that, because I know there's 4s everywhere. The problem was in that first meeting, Armando Bacot, the big man, dominated Virginia. But Virginia's got enough size to deal with him, I think. So he can't eat like he did in the first matchup. Obviously, it was at North Carolina, that game. And one other thing, I know Love's pretty good, and then Manic. And sometimes when Manic's not on, this team just goes flat. They're kind of a 3-headed monster with those 3, scoring for North Carolina. The rest of the guys are just nobody. They're not very deep after that. They're athletic. But I think with Clark and Gardner, these guys, I think they keep this close and maybe even win it. This is where I want Virginia, Jimmy. I want Bennett. This time of year, you talked about Izzo. I want the 4 points here, and if you can get the hook, I really like that. But and I even think maybe Virginia could win it. Everyone's loving North Carolina right now. I'm going to fade them today.
All right. Well, let's see what we can get you here. Interesting. And let's just take a quick peek at where the cash lies in this, because this is such a big game. Let me just get to this Duke spot. Where the hell is it? Duke, Virginia, please. I'd love to see where the money is. And, Virginia, North Carolina, excuse me. Wow, not a lot of tickets in. I wonder why that is. Just 2,824 tickets in. 30% of the tickets on Virginia and 58% of the cash. 30% of the tickets, 58% of cash on Virginia, and the market moving in their direction. Then 37% of tickets and 54% of cash on the under. So let's line shop here for CMac and get him a nice number on Virginia. Yeah, +4.
4 is it.
4, is that the best? Yeah, +4 minus 112. See if we can get it without the juice here. Virginia, North Carolina. Show it. We have Virginia, North Carolina. And yes, +4 at -107. At least that. +4 at -107. So that's locked in for CMac. Any feel on this total? Do you agree with this move to the under?
Yeah, I initially agree to it. But with North Carolina, I think there's a little bit more pace to this game. I think the number's pretty good. Obviously, Virginia, I want them to be in it. I think it goes under. It's got to stay under. They need to be in the 60s. They're not going to run up and down in the 70s. So, but I think this game is close. And yeah, I think they want to keep it in the 60s. So yeah, Virginia played Duke well. I know Carolina just beat them. This North Carolina team's been very up and down. They've been kind of like Michigan. I haven't trusted them all year. Just a little bit of a flat spot, I think, here today. Carolina might win, but I think we have a good game here on our hands. So I want the points with Virginia. This is the perfect spot. Yesterday, I didn't want to lay 6 with them. That's just not the place I want them. I want them here against a vulnerable North Carolina team. So I want the 4.
We are just about to bring Dutch Boy Fresh, who is insanely hot right now. 10 straight freshest looks of cash, hitting over 61% here on the show.
Yeah.
To talk 2 games in NBA. But let's review CMac's action in NCAA basketball. And then tell me if you want to make any additions here quickly while we go through. But anything you tweet out will be available too. And thank you, Billy Friedrich. Found you that at -105 on a bookmaker. So TCU, Texas is we've stayed off, and that game's obviously on. We stayed off East Carolina and Cincinnati. I'm going to move on Missouri first half plus 6.5. That pops off in 53 minutes. You moved on Sac State plus 10.5. I'm going to move on the first half in that spot here. Let's just move over here. Okay. There we go. Then we have Kent State minus 6.5 for CMac. I'm going to tail that. We stayed off Bakersfield, Long Beach State, and I know a lot of you guys are using Long Beach State in.
I took it, yeah, too.
Yeah.
At
Oh,
5,
you did
yeah.
take it. Oh,
Well, I took it at 5
didn't-
last night. I just
Yeah.
didn't want to give a 7, but I think they get it done.
Absolutely. Okay, then UNLV, Wyoming. I got cold feet. I was planning on moving on UNLV, and I stopped. This is the only double-up spot for CMac is with George Washington Colonials. He took him plus 142 on the money line and plus 3 at minus 105. Then you moved on the under 126.5. We did find you that 126.5 at minus 110 in Rice, North Texas. Maryland, Michigan State, you are off. But I have a feeling that Izzo is going to take care of business just like Boeheim. So I'm going to need to look at that a little closer, but I'm going to look at that a little closer. Then Utah State, Colorado State, we've stayed off. And CMac moved on Virginia plus 4. There it is. Julian Sarah says, I'm all over Kent State. Love this team. Thank you so much for sharing your hard work with us. I know you were capping until dawn, and then you woke up early to roll with us, so it means a ton to us, CMac. You can catch CMac here on Wednesdays and Thursdays on Betting with the Bag, and, of course, 5 p.m. today, NCAA Net Profits alongside Maxwell Smart, and follow CMac on Twitter, Conor Mac Picks. CMac, thank you so much, my man. Any last words for the chat?
No, shout out to the chat. Come check us out. Like you said, 5 p.m. Eastern. There's a lot of late games that I really like here to talk about. And maybe a team from Hawaii I'm looking at getting 3 points. I think they could win outright. So check me out later. I'm going to have more games, and I'm going to be watching them. Someone said, am I going to? I don't know. I got another show to do. If I didn't have the show, I'd already be out of here. I'd already be at the book or at Thomas and Mack or one of these places, or at the Dollar, that new Dollar Loan Center. But after it, I might go today. So, yeah, I forget who asked me. I think it was Sam Coleman.
Much love. There he is, Miggity, Mac Daddy in the house. Time to move on to NBA. For the record, I did not want your next guest to return to the show, but look, he did pick a winner. He did call the exact point differential in the game, and he made a lot of people money. So for better or for worse, your next guest making his second appearance, President of Russia, Vladimir Putin.
Ah, Jimmy! Of course you'll have me back on. It's good that I'm here. Mr. Bag, I want you to meet a very special friend of mine here in my lap. Say hi to Dutch. Isn't he wonderful? He's drinking his favorite drink, Jack and Milk. Or how you say, leche, huh?
Look, I'm very uncomfortable having you back, President Putin. Some alarming things going on in the Ukraine right now. I don't care that you're feeding this cap, Jack.
Listen, Jimmy, let me remind you why I'm here, okay? I put money in your pockets with the Suns pick. I even told you how many they would lose by, those Portland Trail Blazers. But did you bet this? No. You didn't have the balls. Your little tiny Canadian balls. Oh, Jimmy, they wouldn't let you. Oh, maybe I should be invading Toronto with so many weak-ass fucking pussies like you.
Jesus.
That's right, Jimmy.
Let's get to the action here. What are you attacking on the NBA board? Just 2 games available.
I love that word, attacking. I am attacking you know where and you know who. Oh, Ukraine is very strong. I underestimated them a little, but you know what they say. When the going gets tough, they tough bomb hospitals and schools. Boom, boom.
President Putin, I can't just sit back here while you're doing these horrible things, telling these jokes about the atrocities that you are delivering. But you did deliver a winner last week, and that's why you are back on the show. So let's keep it to
don't act like you don't love me, Jimmy. Come on, one night with me, I'll have you rooting for Ivan Drago to beat Rocky. Oh, please. Hey, speaking of explosions, how about that Kyrie Irving, huh? 50 points last game, this guy. Come on. He comes out of nowhere. Out of the break going 38 points, and Dick slaps Milwaukee in their home court, and he keeps his traveling whoop-ass show, as you say, going on the road to Philly. In a game I expect them to compete very strongly. You see, they are not so bad on the road, are they not? That's the only place Kyrie can play because of silly ideas like Omicron virus being deadly. I'll show you deadly. 3-2 last 5, including that win in Milwaukee. 7-2 straight up in games decided by 4 points or less. And the book believes this will be close game. I like Nets' chances at winning this one straight up. They're 4-2 against the spread, last 6 against Philly. They're conceding 112 points and scoring 111 themselves. I like 2 plays. Jimmy, I give for you 2, and this time you better play them. Brooklyn, catching the points, and we're going way over the point total. The only time Philly hasn't scored more than 120 points, that is when they play teams that can play defense, like Miami or Boston or some place that knows how to defend itself, not like Toronto or Ukraine. There'll be so much offense in this game. It'll be worse than what I bring to residential areas. Ah, Jimmy.
Okay, President Putin, you're on the Brooklyn Nets, and you are on the over in tonight's NBA action.
That's right, Jimmy. You make me feel like invading a free country. The way you turn me on.
You guys hear it here first. Betting with the bag. President Putin's picks are in. He's 1-0 on the show. Let's see if he continues his success on the hard court. I'm not going to thank you for joining us. Could you lighten up a bit?
Leche to the bookmaker, Jimmy.
Okay.
You just keep having me on, and I'll keep putting money in your American and Canadian, whatever the fuck you are, pockets. Huh?
All right. There you have it. That is President Putin, Nets, and the over. Well, we can move from a very unpopular guest to the hottest capper in the business. We'll see if he agrees with Putin's take on Brooklyn and the over. But let's talk about what Dutch has done on the show. Last week, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday, and he was unbelievable. Now 39 wins, 25 losses, hitting at 60.9%, plus 12.31 units, ROI plus 19.23%, average line minus 105. Please welcome to the show, Dutch Boy Fresh. Dutchy.
Jimmy the motherfucking bag, my God. Yo, salute to you. All the real ones holding it down in the chat, man. Hey, it's a beautiful thing to be back here on a Thursday with you. And you already know the NBA is a hell of a drug. And you're looking at the plug. Yeah, man. Hey, Mr. Putin, my man. Hey, I don't know what to say, bro. I don't know what to say. Good thing I'm loaded like a motherfucker. That's all I can say. But I do agree with the motherfucker. Somehow, some way, we tend to agree. To be honest with you. So, yeah, we'll get to that in a minute. But I like what my man's talking. I do.
Well,
a little bit about the game. About the game, I should refer to.
Yes, of course. Game. No, I know that you mean about
all that other bullshit.
Yeah, I know you are speaking about the game. I am shocked that the total has done what it's done. There are some books that said that it opened at 217. I saw here on the Action Network, it says it opened at 222.5. It's now at 235, and I have to go under a market move that is that enormous. I have to try to go under. We will line shop for Putin and see what he gets. Dan Kelly moved on the under 235 when the show started. And the NBA spreadsheet play today is Philadelphia. This game is going to be very, very fun here. We have the Nets opening up at +5. They're now +4.5. And as I said, this total has gone bananas. Brooklyn 1-4 over their past 5, 17th in pace at 99 possessions a game, while Philadelphia 4-1, 22nd in pace at 97.5 possessions a game. Brooklyn snapped their 4-game losing streak in impressive fashion, beat up on the Hornets, destroyed them. The 132-121 score flattered Charlotte. Irving 15 of 19 shooting for a 50 burger. Philly comes in off their 6 win in 7 games, 121-106 at home over the Bulls. 5-0 in games in which Harden has played. And Embiid has all the space he wants when Harden is out on the floor. Take it away here, Dutch. Brooklyn, Philly, big game.
Yeah, it's a big game, Jim. And this to me is just not another game, to be quite honest with you, to Kyrie, to KD, and the motherfucking Brooklyn Nets as an organization. I mean, let's be honest. James Harden shitted on him. I mean, it was beat down. KD hurt. Kyrie can't play home games. And James was like, act like a little bitch, want to get out of town. Got what he wanted again, just like he did in Houston. This is what he does, you know. So he gonna get it. He gonna get the business tonight, in my opinion. I agree with a lot of what Mr. Poon was saying. I said a lot about the game. I agree with everything, really. I mean, I think the Nets. We fade them on the road, obviously, at home, obviously, and we back them on the road. It's kind of the opposite with the Sixers. They played a little bit better at home of late, but they're 13-9 overall, or 13-9 ATS overall at the house, Jim, on the season. 3-3 overall, last 6 against the number at the house. And Philly has, the Brooklyn has had their way this year. With Philly 2-1 straight up ATS this year versus Philly. They're 4-2 against the number last 6. I believe Mr. Putin mentioned that. They're also 4-0-1 last 5 on the road. The Brooklyn Nets are. But this just comes down to me is simply, I believe KD and Kyrie want to go in there and put it on James Harden. And also we have the aspect of Ben Simmons on the bench, gonna just get it like no other probably from that Philly crowd. I believe they're going to rally around him. And then we got also, let's not forget about 2 big pieces in this deal. Is going to be Seth Curry and Andre Drummond. I'll look for them to have big games tonight, especially Drummond. Play him in 5 to 6 minute spurts, hit the boards, allow him not to get in foul trouble. Steve Nash needs to play this. Get Claxton, even run sharp if you have to. Blake, whatever you have to do to beat up Embiid a little bit. You know he's going to get his free throws. You know Embiid's going to get his. But Andre Drummond needs to be out there, stay out of foul trouble, and get 15-plus rebounds. He's got to do that tonight. I believe he'll be extra motivated against a team who simply just dumped him off as a little extra throw-in for James. Also, the same thing with Curry. I don't believe he liked the way he was kind of dealt like that. So look for him to come back. But the 2 best players on the court tonight will be KD and Kyrie Irving. Obviously, Kyrie's coming off the 50-piece. I believe he'll throw Thibault at him. And, Kyrie's one of the most gifted offensive players we've ever seen. So he'll get his 23-24. He's pretty sharp with Bible on him. So I would endorse the KD look. Now, Jim, I've been very profitable of late since I stopped betting props. We talk about props. I'll give you leans on props. A heavy fucking lean tonight is Kevin Durant over 29.5 points. I don't want to go against what I've been doing, so I'm not going to bet it. But he will get 30-plus tonight. He's averaging 32 against these boys in the 3 meetings this year. He's coming off probably, statistically, he was only, didn't shoot the ball very much. Not statistically one of his worst games, but eye test-wise, the feel, it was a bad game for Kevin Durant. He played 39 minutes, only had 14 points, 5 turnovers. It just was not a KD game. Obviously, Kyrie carried him, and they handled the boys there at Charlotte. But KD will have a game tonight. He's made comments about James. Believe me, he'll show out tonight. Also, him and Embiid had a little altercation last game, if you recall. They kind of threw it underwater under the bridge. But KD's a competitor. You've seen that he didn't like the way they lost those 3 in a row. They took it out on Charlotte. I believe they'll carry that momentum into tonight against the Sixers. And really, the Sixers have nobody to stop anybody out there besides Thibault. That's their one defensive player. The Sixers, I've touched on their home struggles. I just believe that you're going to get a KD, motivated Kyrie, and a motivated Brooklyn Nets team to put it on a Sixers team who really probably will be in cruise control tonight, to be honest with you.
So are you going to make Brooklyn official?
I made the Brooklyn at +5, so give me the best number on there. But I got I got 3 plays on this game, Jim. I really like the first half, 4.5. +2.5, +140. I believe I also got a money line. The Nets will be up at halftime in this game. They're 4-0 ATS in the last 4 first halves. Now keep in mind they lost 3 out of those 4 games, but covered the first half in all 4 of them. The Sixers are 1-3 the last 4 first halves and have won 3 the last 4. The Sixers start off slow. The Nets do not. I expect this game to be somewhat competitive in the fourth quarter. I love the points here. I expect Brooklyn to win, but I know Brooklyn will be up at halftime. So I'll take the points. And if you got a juicy money line, I might even make this a motherfucking 3-piece because I don't got much for you on this nightcapper. I'm not gonna lie to you.
Well, let's start with Nets first half +2.5. I'm getting -111 at Pinnacle. I'm curious to see if I can beat that very quickly. It's pretty easy to line shop first when there's only 2 games on the board. So let's just quickly move over here. And I doubt that we're going to beat it here first half. No, that's at 2. So, okay, so that's where we start. Then on the full game, we have the 4.5. Wow, it just moved. It just moved to -108. Was
that's
-105.
Cool. That's cool. What's the money line first half? You beat 140?
Sorry, let's check that out right now. The Nets first half money line +137 at Pinnacle, and it is. Oh, sorry, that's not it. And it's +127 over there. No, I can't. Where you can get a 140?
Yeah, I got 140 right before I got on here on Willie. About an hour. I was fucking around for a minute, but it's cool though. We'll do the 137.
Okay, I mean if it's I'll keep line shopping, see if I can beat 137. So first half Nets money line, first half money line +130.
140
so
on Bovado. Mr. Moose
beautiful.
Money says.
Thanks, Moose.
Yeah.
There we go. +140.
Appreciate you.
+2.5 at -111, and then full game +4.5 at -108. Wow, very exciting. I don't believe you've tripled up so far, but this is a huge game, and you're running so hot.
And I usually bet more on these games, so I spread it. My bad, Jim. I spread 1 unit on each one of these 3 bets, so it's about what I would have on a single play on the freshest look. So I did it a little different this way. And the least confident play, to be completely honest with you, would be the full game because Brooklyn has shown to me that they collapse in the second half, and Philly plays better in the second half. But I don't see that happening tonight. But I definitely that's why I got 2 plays on that first half.
All right. Oh, wow. Oh, full game money line is +165. Okay. First half +2.5 -111. First half money line +140. Full game +4.5 -108. When you see a 12-point swing in a market move, I'd like to see if I could get a better idea of like what Pinnacle has swung. And I don't know if our usual site will be as good as it's been. But when you see that big of a swing, don't you feel the need to fade it?
No, not at all, Jim. I don't feel the need to do anything that I don't want to do, to be honest with you, bro. I don't want to touch the game. I looked at it. I said the over is the play, but I don't bet totals. I fuck around. I don't need to do that. I just load up on the plays that I like. So I would only look the over here. I don't think that the one thing that hesitates me with Brooklyn, obviously, I said they collapsed a little bit in the second half. It's because of the coaching. They don't fucking focus on defense. I don't trust it. I don't trust Steve Nash. I'm hoping that I could, be backing Kyrie, KD, and them boys. But if it's up to Steve Nash, man, I don't know what's going to happen because this motherfucker had Curry on Tatum over the weekend in crunch time, 2 minutes to go in the game. My man's got 50 fucking plus points, and you letting Curry guard him man on man. Little Seth Curry was a defensive liability against damn near anybody in the motherfucking NBA, but let alone Jason Tatum. And they got him matched up singly. So I do not trust Steve Nash, especially in crunch time. Which is why we talked about it before. But another thing is I do know that Brooklyn has a hard time stopping anybody. So this is going to be a very high-scoring game. This should be a game where everyone could eat off the prop market. But I believe Brooklyn will show up. This is a game that they want to win. And James doesn't deserve to win this fucking game. Let's be honest. Fuck that dude.
Well, interesting news coming in from my producer, Jose Bouquet. He wants action, and we
Oh
are meeting up
man,
in San Antonio soon.
man.
And he already owes you one steak. The question is, could it
He wants me
be
to take his dinner dessert, Jim.
two steaks? Or dessert and an happy.
I'll take
Let's
his dinner
hear
dessert.
from Jose Bouquet. He wants to discuss something
Man.
with you, Dutch. Please welcome to the show, old one hole Bouquet.
Dutch, what are you doing? What are you doing, Dutch? Ben
I'm
Simmons
doing what I do.
is on the bench, Dutch. You know what's going to happen. Those Philly fans are going to be all over the team from start to finish. This is going to be an emotional spot. Joel Embiid is going to go for 40 points and bust their ass. I'm taking the 76ers, Dutch. Let's go. Stake bet, full game. You can take what if -4?
So you gonna pay for my dinner the whole weekend, and I'm in SA. That's what you gonna say?
I'll pay for 2 steaks, yeah, if I
Two
lose.
steak. All right, 2 out of 3. 2 out of 3 nights dinner on you. I mean, if you want me to do that, I'll take. I thought you learned your lesson. I thought you were wise. You said I don't fuck with Dutch no more. But then you get up in
I'm
points. You
so
start getting
stubborn.
up double digits, and you start acting the fool again. Okay.
I'm so
All
fucking
right.
stubborn, Dutch.
All right. Make sure you bring that sauce, bro. Cause I'm gonna be eating this steak on you. That's for sure. Run it. What do we got? 4.5. You want full game?
Yeah, I'll take
Okay.
4.5, no problem. Like I said,
right.
Joel Embiid's gonna bust their ass all night long. I
Embiid
hate
will eat.
I hate him.
Embiid. All right. Well, you like him tonight.
Yeah, because this against the Novaks, Kyrie Irving, and pussy ass Ben Simmons. So what we doing?
You'll go back to hating them by
I
about
probably will if they lose. It's
10
win-win for
o'clock
me.
your
I'll just
time,
talk
bro.
shit about Joel Embiid's soft pussy ass too. So, and if you can
Oh.
tell, I'm still angry because baseball's not back.
Everybody in the audience, now listen to me carefully, is being given a special package, and I don't want you to open it. Do not open it. Cameras are on you, so do not open until I tell you. All right, open your boxes. Open your boxes. 1, 2, 3.
You get a steak. 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 Everybody gets a steak.
Well, he owes me 2 steaks as well. I've added a steak to my first steak, so I'm up 2 steaks. So I'm excited, Dutch. I'm excited. We're gonna be eating well. Viper says Jose's the most kindest donor I've ever seen. That's what Viper says.
Yeah, he keeps donating. Yeah, he keeps donating. CT Best, I'm serious about the steaks. I'm serious about a bet, bro. You gonna bet me? I'm serious now. It's serious. I'm gonna take your shit, bro. That's what it is. So yeah, I am serious. Believe it.
You look very serious. You look very serious. I haven't seen you so serious in my life. Okay. Yes. That's that. We've added a new level to action here.
Yeah, I'm more confident in my bet now. The full game now. I can't lie.
And Cheshire Cat letting us, giving us a little more knowledge on the Pusalia of young Embiid. Said really rough around the edges, really chafed. Okay, let's move on to the next spot on the board. That being 10 p.m. Eastern, Golden State Warriors 44-22, 17-15 on the road at the Denver Nuggets, 39-26, 20-11 at home. And there's Noli Knows in the house. His stay keeps getting extended in Vegas because he keeps making that money. Our man Noli Knows in the house. He'll be back in action with us next week. We're in Ball Arena in Denver, Colorado. Golden State Warriors 1-4 over the past 5, 10th in pace at 100.80 possessions a game, while Denver 4-1, 13th in pace at 100.31 possessions a game. And the fact that you aren't interested in this game actually is very interesting, and I'd like to know more about that. Money coming in on the Nuggets. And money coming in on the Nuggets. They open up as 4-point dogs. That goes all the way down to 1.5. This total opening up, it says it opened up at 220.5. Could it really have opened up that low? All the way up to 228.5. Astute Chaos says over. And this is a big move. Oh, by the way, let's just discuss the cash flow here. 53% of the tickets on the Sixers, 60% of the cash. And then 39% of the tickets, 41% of cash on the bottom, on the under. And then for the Warriors Nuggets spot 6,014 tickets in. And you can see all this money coming in on the Nuggets. 22% of the tickets, 45% of the cash. And then 53% of tickets, 54% cash on the over. Warriors finally snapped their 5-game losing streak in a 112-97 victory at home over the Clippers on Tuesday night. And Otto Porter sick. Andre Iguodala back injury out. But they're healthier than they have been. So Steph, Clay, Wiggins rested in that game. 131-124 loss to the Nuggets. They're all going to be in the lineup here. Nuggets on the second half have a back-to-back after an underwhelming 106-100 victory over the Kings for their fourth straight win. Jokic, 38, 18, and 7. Monte went off for 20. Interesting that you want nothing to do with it. I find that very interesting. But before, shout out to Twan Win. Says, I don't give a damn about what Joel going to do because this game all about personnel, all about personal between KD and Harden. And I don't see the Nets letting go easily. So Twan, our guy Twan Win, thank you so much for the donut, my man Twan. And he's on Dutchy's side here. Take it away here, Dutch. What has taken you off being involved in this game financially? And what were your leans to begin with? I'm fascinated that you want nothing to do with this big late game, Golden State, Denver. Take it away.
Yeah, man. Big shout out to our guy Turnsy and Sam Comer dropping some stats there too. Why you want to maybe tread lightly with the Warriors there. Solid stat you got there, my dude. Yeah, Jim, when I look at this game, I see a lot of sharp guys on the Warriors right off the bat, and I see it, but I don't like what I've seen from the Warriors eye test wise simply. And I know they did beat the Clippers the other night. Moody had a day, and but Clay had 20-something points, didn't shoot the ball very well. Clay and Steph didn't really do much either. I just personally, I don't think the Warriors are a team that I feel confident in backing. Then they start out as, the line's moving obviously against them. Money on the Warriors. There's a lot of sharps on the Warriors, but the line is continuing to move the other way. I don't like that, obviously. It wouldn't scare me off of it. But then when I look into this game, break it down a little bit, and we got 2 games here, and I fuck with you, Jimmy, so I broke this game down. But my guy, Paulie Walnuts, is absolutely right. He said backwood is minus 900, and that's exactly what I would do. It isn't a backwood to me, but look, I'll tell you exactly what I see here. It's another 3-0 straight up, and 2-1 against the spread this year versus the Warriors. 10-1 straight up, last 11 overall. We've talked about the Nuggets before. I think they're playing some of the better. They're playing their best basketball of the year, and some of the better basketball overall in the league of late. 7-1 straight up, last 8 at the house. And as a dog, they're 5-1 against the number last 6. So I believe this is a solid spot here for the Nuggets in a back-to-back situation. I know against Sacramento without Sabonis, they was on cruise control last night. I believe they didn't even play 2 or 3 of their starters. Also, Barton is questionable tonight. Would like to see him out there if you're backing the Denver Nuggets. But I don't believe they have anything. They being the Warriors have anything for Joker. So if Joker is bought in tonight in the Mile High, I would see them probably actually getting the job done here tonight, Jim, to be honest with you. And as a dog, I think there's some value here with Denver. The Warriors, like I mentioned, eye test wise, number wise, they're just not it to me. And Otto Porter, you touched on a couple guys being out. They need everything they got right now because they ain't winning with what they got. So they can't afford to be missing any pieces, in my opinion. They're 2-4 ATS last 6 on the road, 1-5 straight up last 6. Now, for the last 5 losses, Jim, they've allowed 126 points per game. They can't fucking stop nobody. Curry, Thompson, Looney, all these guys, they got nothing. Wiggins playing defense, okay, let's see it. They're 1-5 straight up last 5 in the conference, and 3-9 against the number overall last 12 games. So I don't know. You say spot play here for the Warriors. They coming off a win against the Clippers. Are they gonna lose 4 times in a row against the Nuggets? The numbers tell me they will. So I'm gonna stay off this game because I don't trust the Denver Nuggets in a back-to-back situation, to be honest with you. And can the Warriors win this game? Absolutely. But I just don't like what I've seen from them. So I have to back with it because I don't trust either side.
I get it. What a job by Astute Chaos bagging the full game over 221.5 at minus 103 last night. First half over 112.5. Wow. Dan Kelly says he'll be on the second half Golden State team total over. wild. Absolutely wild. Michigan about to be done for the season, looks like. Be done for the season. Jeffrey Schutzke says Dutch will be eating steak. That's what Jeffrey says.
Jeffrey's a smart motherfucker, man. He is.
Wow, it's amazing what you've done with these two games. I've fascinating breakdowns on both of them. Excellent work. Triple up in the Nets. First half plus 2.5 minus 111. Nets first half money line plus 140. Nets full game plus 4.5 minus 108. And then the steak bet with Jose. Recently, Jose asked me to send him all the who he owes steak bets and all that stuff. And I was like, you think I'm tracking your fucking steak bets?
That's your fucking job. See, that's what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
You're just throwing it out there, man. Like,
Well,
yeah,
you
come
tell me
on,
who you
man.
owe fucking steak. So I know you owe me
Yeah,
two.
I know one you better not forget. Two, matter of fact, motherfucker. Shit.
Sam, I am in the chat says I love steak and well, come down to San Antonio because there's going to be a lot of steaks being handed out from our friend
man.
Jose Bouquet. And those of you coming, we have a Twitter chat there. Let us know if you're going to that Sweet 16 game on Thursday night. And the Dutch, should we confirm you like $150 for the poker buy-in?
Yeah, $1.50 sounds good to me. Maybe even do some bounties, you know what I'm saying? Some bounties on some big namers like Jimmy the motherfucking Bag. Yeah, it always makes it funner.
Yeah, some bounties. Okay, I'm writing that down
Gonna
here.
need a big ass bounty on this.
Put a bounty. I'm about to take your motherfucking bounty real quick, bro.
Dutch, you're on. I'm fucking ready for your ass, dude. I'm fucking ready. Fat ass James Harden's gonna come in and fucking dribble 40 times and fucking do his thing.
Jose, by the way, Jose has been studying poker and playing poker.
Is he laying in his bed?
Of course I am, Dutch. What do you think I'm doing? This baseball's not coming back. What do you want me to do, Dutch? Fucking go outside. There's no point. There's no point to go outside if baseball's not a thing. There's no point in life, Dutch.
Oh, he's sad. He is he's sad.
You gotta at least sit up straight and talk shit. Come on, bro.
He's gonna need to rub one out. I think he's in a bad way. Dutchie making 3 moves in this Nets game. I love it. And Chill Will says, what's good? Used to getting your knowledge analysis around 4 p.m. Eastern. Keep spreading that good knowledge, my guy. Well, you can catch him here every Thursday. And on our show, we've tracked every single move he's made, every God, what's wrong with me? What was every breath he takes? Fucking what's wrong with me, man? Singing fucking song lyrics now. We've tracked every bet he's made here on the show. 39 and 25, 60.9%, plus 12.31 units, ROI plus 19.23%, average line minus 105. Dutch, thank you for sharing your hard work with us. Catch him today and Monday through Friday, 4 p.m. Eastern for NBA Pub Hub and getting the love from the chat that you so deserve. Dutch, thanks for rolling with us every Thursday, my man. Can't wait to rock with you in San Antonio, but we have one more Thursday show that we will be here while I'll be in Toronto and you'll be in Vegas. And then when do you get into San Antonio?
On Friday. Friday morning.
On the Friday.
Yeah,
okay,
Friday
so we'll have another Thursday show. Sweet. Any last words for the cappers supporting the show?
I appreciate you, Jim. Hey, you already know it's all love, Jose, even though I'm going to take your motherfucking steaks. I appreciate the chat. Y'all stay fresh.
There he is. There he is. Dutch boy, fresh in the house, getting the love. Billy Friedrich loving Jose's energy today. And Turnsy also remembering every step he takes, every move he makes. Okay. And Diesel says Jose coming for next. No, we want ribeyes. That's what we want. Okay. Let's review all action here on the show today. In NHL, we had our looks already from Mr. Gogster. Let's just head over there here quickly. Mr. Gogster's looks, and he is on 5, I believe. Sorry, let me get it. Man, what a tough night it was for Gogster last night. They have all these unders for plus lines. You're going against the market, and no goals scored for this first 12 or 13 minutes. And you're like, shit, I'm about to get paid out. Capping is a cruel mistress. We have Gogster added 2 plays here. He added a Boston, Minnesota money line parlay at plus 125 and Colorado money line minus 113. He's on Colorado, Carolina first period under 1.5 plus 125. Ottawa team total over 3.5 plus 130. Anaheim first period money line plus 151. Anaheim team total over 2.5 plus 113. Boston, Vegas money line at plus 100. That is his action. I made 3 moves in NHL. Not a lot, even though there was a ton of opportunity. Wild -1 at -119. Senators -1 at +121. And Columbus Islanders over 5.5 -125. That was out last night around 11 or so, maybe midnight. And that's a 6 now in that Colorado game. 6 now in the Colorado game. And in NHL, sorry, let me just add a couple other things here. I think the Bruins -1.5 is the play. I do. I think they're going to beat up on the Blackhawks, who feel good about themselves and they're an angry group. And I also think that first period is probably the play with the Bruins. I'm going to have to look at it a little more, but that's where I'm leading. Ron Crawford spreadsheet play today is on Ottawa, so we're together on that one. Philly, Florida, I stayed off. Winnipeg, Jersey, I stayed off. I could understand why the money was being pushed to the over 6.5 in New Jersey, Winnipeg. Thank you, Diesel, my guy. And then Colorado, Carolina. I have interest in this under. I've just been burnt from these. I have real interest in this under 6.5 in Colorado, Carolina, because Carolina simply is not going to give you many opportunities. And I cashed. Now, one of the problems here, and the reason why I'm hesitant, is because I cashed the under 6.5 in Pittsburgh, Carolina. And they have no D'Angelo. If they're going to win the game, they're going to win a low-scoring game. So, Rangers, St. Louis, I'm off. And then Ducks first period, I'd like to add. And the Flames. I think the Flames at -110. Let's just see if there's been any movement there. I think I may add the Flames here. A 5-cent move towards the Flames are now -115. I get why they are. Turnsey saying I'd like that under as well. I think I move on it. Then in college basketball, I'm about to move on Missouri first half +6.5. That's popping off here in 17 minutes. And Sac State first half. So I'd like to get those out. I don't want to. I've got so much to think about with action and what to add. I don't want to. Maybe I'll just bet them right away and then figure out what I'm going to add so I'm not panicking. Kent State, I want to add CMac's on Kent State. He's on George Washington +142 and George Washington +3. And he's on the under 126 in Rice, North Texas. I'm interested in that. Michigan State, I should not be interested in after just watching what Michigan did. I should let that go. CMac is on Virginia +4. Dan Kelly's on the Brooklyn, Philadelphia under 235. I'm going to be on that as well. Ron Crawford is with Jose on Philadelphia -4.5. And we already just went over all of Dutch Boy Fresh's action. There you go. Thank you to all you guys. Truly, we have no show without you guys and your support. It means the world to us. Paulie Walnuts, Cashman19, Sam I Am, Turnsy66, Jeffrey Shutsky, Billy Friedrich. Thank you for line shopping, Billy. My guy, that means a ton. Raven in the desert, Cheshire Cat. More. Look, Jose, you got good news? Possibly?
No.
Okay.
I'm not happy.
All right.
I'd like to make a prediction though, and I'd like to do something, Jim. And I need your creative brain because I know you like finding ways to punish me, and I need you to find a way here. I think I'm going to tell you guys now. This is my prediction, and if I'm wrong, Jimmy will come up with a decent punishment for me. I think baseball gets a deal done today. I think by I don't know. I was going to say the end of tomorrow, but I think baseball will sign a deal by the end of today. And Jimmy, if I'm wrong, please punish me.
Well, the punishment will be no baseball for you. I feel like the punishment's sort of ingrained here.
No, I think I need some lashings or something because I can't handle this anymore, Jim. I feel like a pent-up animal. And I need you to think of something creative. Maybe we'll think of the chat, but
okay. Well, how about this? If MLB is not back by the time we close up the Friday show, I will have a penalty set up for you.
Okay. Well, that makes me even more confident because I will. If it doesn't happen by this week, then who knows if you'll see me in at Pubapalooza. Well, who knows what kind of person.
Piker says, "Can we get him a ball gag? Excuse me. All he has to do is shift the camera a little bit and see the other side of the wall. Horrifying stuff. Ball gags all over the place. See?
Yeah, dildos, everything, chains, handcuffs, fuzzy, of course.
God. All right. That will be the end of that. Thank you guys so much. We've got to go. A big, long show, and we have a big show tomorrow, and so much work needs to be done on that tomorrow card. And then I got to make all these bets right now. So I got to get to work. Thank you on behalf of all of us at Pub Sports Radio, my producer, Jose, who does such a great job, and our leader, Jeff Slaughter. We thank you for your support. Now it's time to get the fucking money, baby. Get the fucking money. Leche. Hey, Los Bookmaker! Get that shit.